for coming, okay? And I promise I'll make it worth your while. But I want everybody to know too that after we have this conversation, you'll all have my personal number and you can't call it enough. Okay? Oh yeah, it's true. No, it's absolutely true. Okay, I mean, Shalou has definitely worn that one out. And
that's called display.
no, so the reality is this. You're not going to get what you deserve. And that's why you're not getting what you deserve, because none of you are demanding it. Okay? Or,
are you sure?
Yes, I am sure, because guess what? And if you are demanding it, you're going to somebody who can't deliver it. Because if you're going to demand it from somebody who can deliver it, you'd already have it. But you're never going to have it until you actually deserve it. Now, I don't need to take a look at what religion you're from. I don't need to take a look at what values your parents had in the schools you went to, because you're all displaying them right now. You all think that the personality you have is yours. Well, it's not until you're completely healthy and wealthy on all levels and a slight smile on your face no matter what's going on the planet. Now, there's the truth. Some of you are never going to make it, but we can definitely, hopefully, get you out of the fire. You don't have to believe this, but your disease is only an extension of your personality. You don't have to believe this, but the invisible creates the physical. You don't have to believe this, but it doesn't matter what little Billy does. Doesn't matter what Klaus does or Trudeau does. No matter how much they poison us emotionally or physically, just shut your mouth. Mind your own business and look after yourself. Quit complaining about things. I'm telling you the truth. If you minded your own business and unconditionally loved yourself and only cared for yourself, you wouldn't be doing any harm to yourself or anyone else, and you would become the light for the world. Yes or no?
I don't know, it sounds selfish, actually.
Yeah, it does. And most of you aren't going to be able to do it, because if you do that, I promise you, you will go to hell for eternity. And the reality is you won't. That's another story that was made up, and that's why you're going to stay sick. Because a sick belief is that you don't deserve to have everything. Another sick belief is that that which created the whole universe is actually judging you, whether you played with yourself underneath the covers when you were 12 years old, or you stole cookies from the cookie jar, or you actually stole from a store, or that you hurt someone, or you committed some kind of broke some law or something that somebody said. That's all made up. There hasn't been a book that hasn't been rewritten. No, but you need to understand, you're not going to get well.
I hear what you're saying, but you need to understand something about me. I don't complain about the government.
No, but
I'm fighting the government.
No. Hold on a sec. We're not. This is not a personal issue.
No, I know.
I want to set a basis here. Yeah. It's not. This is not a personal issue.
No,
because
I'm saying that I don't necessarily fit into every mold that you're expressing here.
Oh, but wait a second.
I'm not saying
I wasn't talking to you.
Okay.
Well, so now we know something. She takes things personal. Hold on, please. This is not a personal issue. Okay? There are lots of stories going on in the world. The day that you don't have to defend yourself is the day that you found love for yourself. Think about the way I talk, the way I walk, the things I do. I get attacked all the time because the majority of the population don't have a belief system that's anything like this. I don't care. I mind my own business. I don't care if somebody doesn't believe in unconditional love for themselves. I have to do that, or I won't be free of sickness. I will lose my energy. I will be slumped over. I won't be sitting straight. I won't be focusing on the present moment. You know, until you love yourself unconditionally, until you stop judging yourself and the world, okay? You're not going to be free of disease because you're not going to be at ease. I need everyone to understand that. People get well only temporary when they take a whole bunch of products. They've got the whole team behind them, supporting them, rah. But the team leaves, and so does your money eventually. If you create a new attitude, which means you have a change in your personality, you change your whole field. Everything is based on a field. It's based on energy, light, and frequency. Remember something. Nobody is allowed to, you are, but don't come at me as if I was talking to you on a personal level. I am telling you that if you were free of judgment, how would your life look like if you were free of judgment?
Be amazing.
It'd be amazing. Right. And guess what? You don't stop judging. I stopped judging. It took years of practice. You can love me, you can hate me, you can think I'm full of it, but that's why we offer a money-back guarantee. Because now you don't have to walk away angry. Because guess what? A lot of people need to feed their belief systems even if they have to feed their anger. Oh, look at 315. Tell me that you aren't robotic. The subconscious runs everybody's life from the moment they rise until they close their eyes, whether you like it or not. It runs all the autopilot things from your heartbeat to your blood pressure, everything like that. It runs over 120,000 different chemical and hormonal operations without you knowing it. It also runs your life every which way, even emotionally. So if you're not willing to crack open the coconut and go in and take a look at your belief systems, why do you get along with someone and you don't get along with someone else? Why does somebody set you off but somebody else doesn't? Well, because they match your belief systems. But are they your belief systems? Because your belief systems came from 0 to 7. And whether you believe it or not, no matter what ailment you have here today, yes, it's exasperated by maybe chemtrails or something here or a drug you took or something else. But 99% of it is all created from your personality. It's kind of funny, isn't it? You can get 10 people eating the same garbage, and guess what? They're not all sick. Not all of them have heart disease. Not all of them are getting stents. Not all of them have diabetes, because personality overrules everything, and your personality is created by beliefs. But if you didn't go in and construct those beliefs, you will have the disease that you have because of the beliefs that you're not aware of, that you're running, that you think are normal. Every family thinks they have a good diet. Every family thinks that they have a loving family. And I'm telling you, none of that is true. And I'm telling you right now that the day that you can love yourself first and foremost before anyone else or anything else, you already won. I mean, I can sit here and we can fight all day about things, but why would we? The reality is, you know that if you did not judge yourself or anybody else, and you unconditionally loved yourself, so that if something happened, and let's say you had a blow up with someone, or something happened in your life, do you believe that the longer you hold on to it and the more you punish yourself, it might create some sickness? Do you understand that stress, unmanaged stress, which most people can't manage their stress, is the main cause of every disease, and it doesn't matter what name you want to call it? So I wanted to establish that before we get into this, and then you can just give it back to me and say, I don't believe you. I believe that there's a magic bullet out there, and that magic bullet is unconditional care and love for yourself. It is not judging things that you hate, that you dislike. Why aren't you just focusing on only what you love, and how to make love to yourself all day long? How to care for yourself all day long, making choices that everything is based on frequency and light. That's it. So high frequency people that shine their light. Okay, movies that you watch, things that you eat, things that you drink. If you only focused on everything that was high vibrational and filled with light, we wouldn't be sitting here right now, because you'd find this very boring. Then you'd also say there's no reason for it. So where is the shadows? Where is the darkness in your life? Where have you judged yourself and you can't even access it because it's in the recesses of your subconscious? And because you've been doing it for so long, you think it's normal. Let me tell you something. Most of the people think that the way that they love is normal. I wouldn't have anything to do with it. And it's not because I think I'm better. I just know that would you follow? Do you think any of us should follow the majority of the population the way they eat and drink and think right now? Just know you're part of it. If you've got an illness, you're part of the majority. The minority are not going that direction. I have one rule. Whatever the majority's doing, never do it. And that's since the beginning of time. The majority don't rule. They just rule statistically. Oh, listen, for a woman your age, you should go and get all your affairs in order, because with this kind of condition, you will only have 6 months. Well, that's only if you had the personality of the majority of women that age. Please. People say, I've got stage 4 cancer, which is stage 4 inflammation. It's not cancer. When you label something, you put a due date on it. Do not label it. When they test you to see at what degree you might have cancer, the so-called life-threatening disease, and that's it, understand they're always testing for one thing. What is it? Inflammation. So what happens if you found the infection, emotional and physical, that was actually triggering the inflammation? How many people do you know they will have a certain illness and they'll have a cheerleading team behind them, and then they're taking good nutraceuticals, but because they didn't change their personality, it comes back? Or they have a new disease when there are no diseases. There's just symptoms, and those symptoms are not even symptoms. It's your body talking to you. Every time that you have a pain in your body, you have swelling, you have stiffness, that's your body saying, this is out of alignment over here. Did you notice what you just did yesterday? Well, that's why you're exhausted and you have a headache today. You didn't notice that you had the same argument that you always have with your husband, your son, your daughter? Did you not notice that you carried a bottle of water around with you, but you never took a drink? Did you not notice that yesterday that you're actually beating up on yourself because you didn't feel that you did or accomplished what you were supposed to?
Yeah.
I just said a whole bunch of things, and guess what? Your subconscious is so good that there's a lot of you in this room that are going to push back at me, because I just told you your subconscious makes all your decisions, and the only time that you make a decision was when you're in the present moment. And how many people know that the biggest study that was ever done on the conscious and subconscious says, all right, that 99% of the population only lives in the present moment 2% of their day. Now, how many changes do you think you can make in 2% of your day? Could you heal with just being conscious 2% of the day? Because the only time that you're ever going to bring in a new thought, the only time that you're going to create something new is when you're in your conscious moment. And then in the conscious moment, you have to do that thing 10,000 times before it's accepted by your subconscious, and now you can do it without thinking about it. How many can put their pants on in the dark? Well, guess what? You only did it because you put your pants on 10,000 times. Let's go see your the child that you, for the first time, say, try to get your pants on. Let's see them try to tie their shoes. Let's see them do anything. So everything is repetition. How do you think they got people to take the diaper off their butt and put it on their face for 2 years? They did it through repetition. So understand, it doesn't matter. You, for good or for bad, okay, for healing or for sickness, everything is repetition. They use repetition to get us sick, and you need to do repetition to make sure that you stay well and that you stay there. And then after you get there, you have to mind your own business. How many people talk about their healing, or do you talk about your sickness? How much do you talk about your sickness? How much do you talk about he can't help me, she didn't help me? How much do you say that I spent this much money? How much do you say that I'm so angry, I'm so frustrated because I can't heal myself? We need to establish things first, because nobody talks to you like this. Because guess what? Every time you tell the truth to someone, everybody's feelings get hurt, because everybody's a bloody victim, yes or no? There's no victims in your life? You're not a victim? I'm definitely not a victim. I am not going to use an excuse for anything outside myself today or tomorrow or any other time. And that's it. I just had 3 explosive meetings today. Ask my partner, Lori. Lori, 10 minutes ago, I just found out that maybe I might have wasted $125,000. Now, how's that affecting me right now? Absolutely zero. I will deal with it when I deal with it. And then when I'm not dealing with it, I'm going to be right here. And even when I'm dealing with it, I'm not going to have an attachment to something that's going to hurt me. Think about all the times that you are being hurt, you're anxious, you can't sit down, you can't relax, you can't let go. This is you feeding your illness. And whether you believe it or not, you are more dedicated into keeping your illness than getting rid of it. And that would be your subconscious, or you wouldn't have it. Oh my God, there's a mind bend. You're more dedicated to keeping your illness than getting rid of it. So understand, unless you're going to buy into unconditional love, unless you're going to buy into being very kind to yourself, okay, unless you're going to buy into letting go every negative conversation. You know what? The greatest example, okay, of negativity can be these last 3 years. Everybody is negative. They want to talk about all the things they can't change. If you were to only deal with the things that you can change in your life, okay, you'd have a beautiful life. And guess what? Did you know, are you ready? This is the crazy part. If 3% of the population were to buy into unconditional love and mind their own business, we would take down every toxic system. One totally positive, enlightened being is stronger than 1,000. And it's all energy. So understand, the majority of the population, think about it. Take the time and think about what you think about and what you talk about. Is it creating amazing things? Your imagination is so beautiful. You've turned that kitty litter into a sandbox. You think about it. And I'm going to tell you, you're way off the marker. I am continually working on that myself. The whole time that I'm on this planet, I will be working to get back to my spirit, to feed my spirit, to become a spirit being. That's it. If you were to let yourself off the hook with everything, how many people here believe in sin? Good luck with getting well. You're not going to stay there too long. Okay, so how many people believe that you're a failure? Well, guess what? Try to believe you're a failure and try to succeed in getting well and staying there. You're going to need a whole bunch of people to lift and keep you supported up like this. Their arms are going to get tired, and then they're going to have to let you go and go back to their own life. You ever notice that? It's the same in every relationship. Oh my God, I met Jennifer and she just fills up my heart so much. Okay, we've been together for 1.5 years. You know what? And she's changed. She doesn't fill my heart anymore. She's not the person she used to be. Well, because guess what? We're also needy for love. But we can't keep on doing it. Every one of you know that after 1 year to 2 years of a relationship, everything has changed. But it hasn't changed because guess what? You didn't learn that you were supposed to unconditionally, totally love and fill up your own heart. But your parents didn't teach you that. Their parents didn't teach them that. You're not taught it in school. Religion doesn't teach you that. My God, most people believe that if they totally unconditionally love themselves, they're going straight to hell. But you don't think it on the conscious, on the subconscious back burners, so you don't go near it. Guess what Dr. Wolf teaches? Selfishness. Yeah, he teaches you something really bad. And that is that you should love and care for yourself before anyone else, or you'll never heal yourself. I hope he burns in hell. And guess what? People tell me that. Go burn in hell. So you need to get that. And I don't care. Love them anyway. So the reality is this. We're very confused. We're very confused. We've made the greatest power in the universe into a human being that 1 minute loves us, next minute doesn't love us. We're all very confused about this. And the one thing you should not be confused about, okay, is protecting your frequency, protecting your vibration, and watching your mood swings, watching when you go down, when you go up, and then how sometimes you go way up and then you go way down, okay, where you should just have this consistent glide. And guess what? If you had a slight smile on your face, no matter what was going on, you'd already be healed. You know, I've had people give me the finger. Screw you. I got nothing to be happy for. Good. There you go. There's your story. There's your story. Stick with that story. Keep telling that story to yourself. So why'd you come today?
Because I wanted to see you because I missed you, Daryl.
Okay, all right. No, is there anything that...
Yeah, well, I just was wanting to know what else I need to do. I'm doing all these nutraceuticals. I've done the non-surgical. I did with Shay and the Cellsonic as well. And I guess I had in my head five non-surgicals in my hip would be good to go, and I would need hip surgery. But
okay, so you know what? So we all get this thing in our head, right? The reality is when we should just focus on the healing, not on the number. First of all. Next thing, I'm going to tell you something. You know what? I'm going to be 67 in a few weeks. So, you know, if I don't maintain, that's how it works. If you don't maintain your house, it falls apart. If you don't maintain the car, it falls apart. Most of you will have no problem remembering about the oil change for the car. But how many of you have ever done an ultimate coffee enema and then you've done 10 in a row? And then if anybody's got any type of illness, why aren't you doing at least 2 or 3 every week?
I do. They're wonderful.
No, but we're talking now. Yeah.
Sorry.
No, but you've made strides. I'll tell you what it is with you. And this, how often do you do the pelvic squats? And I'll tell you, I'll take the whole time. And if you want, I'll do a 1 a day even, but I'll show you how I do them. I don't care how stiff and how bad your hips are. With non-surgical, maybe some Cellsonic, the proper diet, but with doing the pelvic squats twice a day and breathing into your hips and doing the 3 squats and holding each of them for at least what? 3 to 5 minutes minimum, and breathing into it. And doing those 3 squats and doing it first thing in the morning and doing it at night and then doing the crab stretch for 10 minutes. And if you want, I'll do a 1 a day and I'll show you how I do it. And I rock my bloody world. I got more flexibility and more stretch than most kids that are in their teens. You can have it back. You aren't patient enough to stay in your breath and then breathe into the pain and where it's locked in. If I had a tumor, if I had a problem anywhere in my body, I would connect with my source. What's your source? I don't know. Is it Buddha? Is it God? Whatever it is, doesn't matter. Connect with your source. Connect with your breath. And use that energy and breathe into where the pain is. The pain leaves. It opens it up. And guess what we're doing? We're not getting rid of the pain. We're creating a new frequency. We're creating a new program. Just know this, you all are running programs and I'm running a program. Mine is based on unconditional love. And if I feel a tweak in my neck, I will go and I will breathe and I will stretch into that. And where you do a stretch, it might be, it's over. I'll go in there and I will stay there. I'll stay there for a few minutes and I'll breathe into it to untie it. We knot ourselves up. We knot ourselves up. That's what we do. We become beef jerky. Listen, every one of you are suffering from beef jerky somewhere in your body. And then you call that a disease and you put a label on it. And then whatever the medical system says, then you take that bullshit, okay, and you own it. That if somebody has arthritis, they're going to have this, this, and this. They're going to feel like this, this, and this. And eventually this, this, and this is going to happen. And there are no diseases. There are just symptoms. And there is no diseases. There's only inflammation. And that turns into scar tissue because you are on fire. And you're on fire emotionally. How many people have really beautiful relationships with everybody in their family and themselves and their husband or their wife? I may not have the relationships that I want with everybody in my family, but I don't need to. because I'm not attached to having the perfect relationship with everyone. I'm only attached to unconditionally loving them wherever they are. That's why I will never have a disease. Did you hear what I just said? I will never have a disease, and I know it 100%. I'm not rah-rahing, I'm going to win the lottery. I'm going to win like some moron. I'm telling you that I know that. I am that vibration. Any disease that you're suffering from right now is a dysfunctional belief system that you haven't been able to tap into or have the right tools to work with and strategize with. And if we do that, we'll do it on an emotional, we'll do it on nutritional, we'll do it on an exercise, and we'll do it on a therapeutic basis using different energy medicine equipment or different types of body work like the non-surgical to untie the knots and pull the fibers apart. Because even if you're to say, I'm going to emotionally change today, completely, we have to still go in and untie. You've eaten beef jerky, right? I guarantee you, everybody with your complaints here, if I were to go in and open it up, that tissue is just like beef jerky, as hard as that. You couldn't even chew on it. So what we got to do is understand, scar tissue doesn't come in. You actually fried the life force out of the tissue. You dehydrated it. Inflammation. You dehydrate your tissue. What do you think a tumor is? What do you think a fibroid is? What do you think scar tissue is? What do you think the scar tissue is from surgery? They go in and they create such inflammation. It's the worst scar tissue in the world is from surgery. That's why you're going to find the majority of people are going to be growing fibroids and tumors and having adhesions or lesions wherever they went and did surgery because it's traumatizing. So every time you traumatize yourself, every time that you have a lower vibrational emotion, you're dumping adrenaline and cortisol. And we know that that's highly acidic, and you are actually dripping acid into your body. Anybody with a disease is dripping acid into their body on a continual level because they haven't been able to get to the point of freedom, safety. For some reason, there's a belief system that's keeping you from safety. I feel totally safe, and I'm under attack a lot. I'm totally safe because guess what? People bully, they threaten. I don't care. And I'm bigger than this. And I'm connected to my source. And if I'm here for one more day, I'm going to live it like a BraveHeart hero. And if I live for another day or I live for another 50 years, and guess what? It doesn't matter how long I live. It's how I live. Because you are here to try to bring up your vibration, feed your spirit, and become something that is heavenly. And you can't become something heavenly and be living in judgment with yourself. So understand, a chronic illness is because of a chronic dysfunction in your personality. And yes, we're going to work with you emotionally, physically, nutritionally. But if you don't want to get this, it's never going to happen. I'll tell you right now, there's nobody that's taken my course in years that by the third day on the whole life coach, and I'm not trying to tell you to come and do it, but by the third day, am I right or wrong? They go, boom, wow, okay, I got it. I'm not going to go to hell if I look after myself or let myself off the hook for all the so-called wrongs that I did. Look at all the world needs to do is make you feel wrong and low vibrational, and you'll eat crap. You'll take crap. You'll think crap. You'll become crap. That's it. Don't take it personal. But I'm right. I'm right about this. I know this much, and I know it really good. How? First whole life coach course, I was 28 years old. When I was 12 years old, my father baptized me again. He was a born-again Christian pastor because I had the devil in me, because people would come in and I'd say, Dad, they're lying. Dad, they're lying. They're not telling you the truth. So then that was it. He had to get the devil out of me. The reality is when you stop judging people and you observe them and you love them anyway, you get to see their full book. You get to see your full book. You get to look at it and observe it. You get to know that people don't hate you. They just have belief systems that don't match yours. Okay? And understand, your relationship will never be better than your parents if you carry the same beliefs your parents have. Well, there's a brain fart. So unless you're willing to go in and get rid of the family curses and just keep the family blessings, don't expect anything to get any better. From 0 to 7, you are in a theta state. Everything, if your father was beating up your mother, it would disturb you, but you would think it was normal. Yes, that's the truth. That's science. So from 0 to 7, you're all operating, and I'm operating off of beliefs that we got back then. But I went in and I did my homework. I went in and I went, I'm not keeping this. I'm not keeping that. I'll keep that, but I'm not keeping that. And there's belief systems I'm still getting rid of, because as my vibration comes up, they get to go, don't they? If you eat something higher vibrational, it will kick out things that are lower vibrational in your body. But understand, if you're not willing to bring up the vibration of your thoughts, it doesn't matter. They're all coming back, because the invisible creates the physical, and the invisible is more powerful than anything you ever eat. So you can get it. I know people that eat crap, but they love themselves. And they love their crap. I know people that are eating totally organic, and guess what? They've got stage 4 cancer, and I'm working with them right now. I've got people that are doing 3 bowel movements a day, and they've got bowel cancer. So listen to me. If you think the personality isn't your reality, that's fine. We'll keep working with you. And after this little conversation, I won't bring it up again, because it disturbs you. I don't want to be your terrorist. You don't want to buy into that? That's fine. We'll buy into something else. We'll work it from a different angle. But wouldn't it be great if I could give you a pill and you totally forgot about everything that you supposedly did as a sinner, and you're only a winner? Where would you be? Where would you be? Oh, well, you'd go to hell for sure. Don't give me one of those pills. You've been programmed for, you know those psychos that you don't like, that are ruling the planet? Well, they're ruling you. They programmed you to get sick, and you're all sick. Not all sick, but we're sick. We're sick on some level. You've been programmed for sickness. Their mission is done. They can go on a holiday now. Because unless you're going to change your belief system, the way you drink, the way you think, the way you eat, then you just buckle up, baby. Because all we're going to be able to do is to just turn the burner down. We can't turn it off. And that's how it is. So you can get it or not get it. Don't come to my course, but at least go to some course that is brain boot camp. I could take you to, you know what? You don't have to believe this, but people will go through a whole life coach course with cancer and come out 9 days later and not have it. How does that even happen? How does that happen? I've got someone that's very close to me that works in our BraveHeart Nation group right now, helping us get this university together. And guess what? She's totally healthy. Okay? A couple people in her family had to leave that she's very close to. I don't want to get into it really deep. So she had a little thing going on down here in her lower pelvis. And guess what? She started to feel a little pain. I said, this is because of your emotional attachment. I don't think so. And I go, okay, then don't keep thinking about it. Don't keep talking about it. And she kept thinking about it and talking about it. After 10 days, it's this big. Now it's going to go down as soon as she calms down. Do you want to know something? When you feel that you've lost the love in your life, you go into desperation. Let me tell you something. This is why it'd be really wise to start learning how to love yourself, fill up your own heart, and demand nothing from your family, nothing from your friends, and nothing from the world, and you will heal. Bam! And I can say it, but you don't have to believe it. And understand, this will be the hardest thing for you to buy into, because it's too easy. And guess what? Life is all about the struggling, isn't it? Life is about the fighting, you know? You know, the reality is this. I don't fight. I don't fight with anything. I'm not fighting. I'm not going out there to fight against the masks. I just won't wear one. I'm not going to go out there and fight against anything. I'm just not going to do anything that dishonors my spirit, that dishonors me as a spirit being on this planet. You know, those same people that are out there fighting stuff and talking about their anger and their hatred towards people, right? They'll go home and eat crap. They'll talk crap. They'll treat themselves like crap. People don't get it. The game would already be won if you just become number one. That's it. Wait a minute here. Wait, I'm a mother. I'm supposed to love my kids more than myself. No, that's what they told you. If you loved yourself more than your children, it doesn't mean you're going to let them drown in the tub. It means you're going to shine your light on them, and they're going to respect and honor themselves, and maybe they won't be pulling their pants down so fast and doing alcohol and drugs because you don't love yourself and you disrespect yourself, so they're going to do it. I'm absolutely right, but if you want to fight, you go ahead. We'll do it later, one-on-one. The reality is I wanted to just start with this before we start talking today. Now we'll get off of this whole topic, and we'll bring it down to the physical. But understand something. We can get rid of the physical, but if we don't reprogram the computer, it's still going to give us the same printout, isn't it? Isn't it? Your beliefs don't change. We're going to get the same printout. The same program is going to run the same bloody end result. And it could be bloody. So no, you're not doing the squats. You're not dedicating it to it. You're dedicating to breathing and putting love into those hips. And your hips are locked, okay? Usually, with women, being the hips locked, it's usually a sexual thing, okay? So just know that. So what is it? You know? Could have been somebody sexually abused you. It could have been, I lost my child. It could have been so many different things. That's why I tell everyone to go and watch the video that I did. The biggest study ever done on disease and illness and cancer, okay? The emotional chemistry of cancer, disease, and healing. Go watch it. It is real. It's truthful. And understand something. Every disease is not a physical issue. It's the end result of an emotional, dysfunctional issue that you haven't tapped into yet. Well?
And how do I tap into that emotional issue? By just loving myself and
Well,
doing
first of all,
yes,
it's courage. Because your subconscious will hide anything that was really painful for you when you were younger, or any trauma you had, it will hide it. Connecting to your breath connects to your source. It'll give you the power. Being relaxed about things. Looking at your mind as a river. Oh, look, there's a huge turd. It's not mine. Let it float on by. Do you understand? See, everybody believes that everything that's in their head, they created. Let me tell you something. I've had thoughts when I was younger of killing people. I've had some really bad thoughts and thoughts that I would not be proud of if I took them personal. But I went, I wouldn't think that. Remember something, the human body's an antenna. We watch a lot of different things. We hear a lot of different things that are not emotionally balanced, right?
and they're not mine.
And they're not yours. And if you would just understand they're not yours, then you wouldn't hold on to them. If you have some kind of a negative thought or something going on, and you had put an attachment to it, that it was yours and you own it. Do you actually know that the majority of the population doesn't have one original thought? Not one. Not one original thought. Okay, look at your day. You go through your day and you hardly think about anything because you do your day so often, you don't think about it. Unless you know how to breathe. When you breathe and you deep breathe and you got your shoulders back and a slight smile, you are creating new stuff all the time. Don't smile. Don't smile. I know the people here that don't smile. Most of the people in here don't smile much. They do not. That's obvious. You can tell. Right? Oh yeah, they're pissed off. They're pissed off. I'm not going to smile. Give me something to smile about. My life has been tough. My life is hard. If you had my life, you wouldn't smile either. What a bunch of shit. You know what? All you do is you use the story over and over again. What if you decided that from this moment on, you were going to begin your life and you're going to go around with a slight smile on your face and you were going to be grateful for everything and you weren't going to go hang around with people that were low vibrational? What if you weren't going to bring in any low vibrational food or drink? What if you weren't going to put on Netflix anymore? What if you were going to just really being the creator of your life, finding your passion and your purpose? What if you were going to do that? I've triggered a few things, trust me. And you're never too old to be new. You're never too old. And you're never too old to put a smile on your face. Let's see everybody here keep a slight smile during this whole conversation, and you will accept these new beliefs quicker. All right? And I just said that, and okay, 5 of you out of 10 aren't going to smile. That's good. Don't. You know what? There's the virtual finger for me. That's it. You don't understand, my life is being confusing. Well, that's going to be your story. Don't ask yourself why nobody wants to be around you. Don't ask yourself why the only people that want to be around you are other miserable people. Don't ask yourself why your kids are miserable and they don't call you. Just don't ask yourself. Okay? People want to be around sunshine. That would be seeing a smile. So you blew it. You're not going to stay well. You're going to stay in hell. You're not going to get well. Let's go and do tons of therapy. Let's give you tons of nutraceuticals. Take your money. And then you can tell Shalou she didn't do her job. If you don't want to practice putting a slight smile, connecting to your breath, then I say let's just wash the whole thing out and call this a day. Why do you think I give a money-back guarantee? Because I don't want people using me as an excuse. They get it. We get it all the time, okay? And that's what they do. We are something totally different. New World practitioners are people that offer a money-back guarantee, and they're trying to train you one thing, to love yourself and let yourself off the hook for everything. To get to a point where you don't have to forgive yourself for nothing. Even the whole forgiving thing. How does it feel when your family does something and then you get angry and then you forgive them and then you go, I forgive you. And then they go and do it again. What happens? Tell me what happens. You get angry again.
Pissed off.
And then you forgive them again. And then guess what? The relationship gets worse and worse and more distant and distant. What if we didn't forgive them? We go, hey, look, I'm not going to forgive you, because I didn't judge you. But the reality is you're not bringing drugs into this house. The reality is that I'm not dealing with an alcoholic anymore. The reality is I'm not going to deal with the lies anymore. Okay, the reality is I want a higher vibrational life. Just know that I always love you. But guess what? This relationship is over. Okay? All right? We are not doing this anymore. All right? There's no more fight anymore. Understand, most of you are sick because, you know what? You didn't hold the line for yourself to make the changes for yourself. And then also walking away from terrible relationships. Because people aren't terrible, but people have terrible beliefs. There are people that I love unconditionally that are in my family immediate. I don't see them. And if I go to see them, I'm so different than them. Guess what? Even though I come in with unconditional love, I'm a terrorist. I don't drink. I don't smoke. Okay, I don't eat toxic food. Who wants to hang around with me? I'm a troublemaker. Oh, you think she's better than us? I'm not going to do that, and that's my own children. I love them. They can eat, drink, do whatever they want. I will love them forever. If they need me, they call me up. I'm there like that. Like that. But I'm not going to go and tell them how they should live. I'm not going to do that. And guess what? I guarantee you that there's a bunch of you in here that tell your family how to live, and you still don't know how to do it for yourself. This is what we do. Mind your own business. Take all your energy and pour it into that beautiful spirit of yours. Your physical body's easy to heal. You know what? You can grow bones back. I know what I'm talking about. I've seen it all. Bones back, organs back, tissue back. There's no such thing as an incurable disease. There's an incurable mind when you believe that your personality is something that was God-given. My God, please, who made that up? Who made that up? Your personality only came from the 5 people that were around you the most from 0 to 7. And I don't care if you're 90 years old, sitting here, you're working off those belief systems and struggling. Until you decide to go in and rewrite the story. And you haven't. Why don't you just go and tape yourself and then tell me if you're somebody you'd like to hang around with? Tell me you're somebody that you would like to hang around with. This is healing. This is what real healing is. You know, and please don't get me wrong, but I can't sit down. I can't relax. Or at least I'm not pacing. Guess what he just did? He just increased his whatever. If he's got prostate cancer, he just brought it up. If he's got heart disease, he just brought it up. If he's got a tumor, he just fed it. You don't talk like that. Nobody talks like that. And guess what? That's his little boy in him and saying, why doesn't mommy love me? Why doesn't somebody love me? That's right. Trust me. I've done psychology for 25 years. I'm really good at it. It takes me about 3 minutes to look at someone or not. How much? Even 3 minutes? No? You walk in the door, I got you. Because you would too. And it's all called, guess what? If you lived your life feeling your way through instead of thinking your way through, you would never be sick. And you'd never be exhausted. You would never have headaches. You wouldn't feel this. Trust me, I've been there. I had migraine headaches, neck problems, low back problems. I had it all. I'm getting older, but I'm getting younger. Why am I getting younger? Because I'm renewing my belief systems every day. If you were to change 1% every day in 100 days, you'd have a new you, wouldn't you? How many of you have done an advanced water fast in this room? Put your hand up. Okay. Well, guess what? Now do an advanced water fast every 6 weeks. And guess what? In 6 to 9 months, I don't care what your problem is, if you actually do it right, you will never have it. And the only reason why it's going to take you 6 to 9 months doing an advanced water fast every 6 weeks is because you're that stubborn. No, you're not. Because you have a belief that is that stubborn that you weren't able to access yet. But when you do something so high vibrational as an advanced water fast, when you do the exercises, the breathing, the slight smile, I don't care if an atomic bomb goes off or Justin Trudeau starts banging on the door with his military, I'm still going to smile. I'm not going to have any attachment to fear or stress or anything. You think I'm kidding?
No, I'm just.
But I'm trying to.
Enjoying the conversation is all.
No. But I wasn't meaning you. I'm not kidding. It wasn't. No, that wasn't personal.
No, I wasn't.
I won't
You
look this
asked me
way.
a question, I answered it.
Yeah.
Nothing
No.
personal.
Let's stay over here. Okay. So the reality is this: no attachment. No attachment. No attachment to physical things. No attachment to emotional things. My God, guys, you already know the people you live with and the friends you have. And there's not one of you that isn't hoping that somebody changes to make your life better. How ridiculous are you? You're so ridiculous. Well, I'm hoping. Well, don't hope for nothing. Become everything for yourself. Well, I'm just hoping our relationship gets better. Well, it hasn't in 20 years. What do you think's going to happen here? If it was going to do anything, it would have happened. Do you understand? So understand this. Now we're going to bring it down to a physical platform. If I would have came in here and just talked about nutraceuticals or talked about the Cellsonic or I talked about the non-surgical or the cardio med bed, guess what? I'm just like everybody else. But we do have the best energy medicine. We do have the best body work. I don't see anybody else offering a money-back guarantee. All you got to do is demand the best in your life all the way around. I demand the best in my life all the way around. I was on a meeting with somebody, okay, and I just said to him, listen, if we have to walk away from this, we will. I said, I'm not going to be pouring any more money into this project, okay, all right? As soon as you learn to let go what no longer serves you, the healing is already done. If you can't heal yourself, you're not letting go what no longer serves you. Whether it's in your diet, in your mind, or it's a relationship. And the most toxic relationship you'll ever have is the one with yourself. Because we've been programmed to do that. You know, if I could get the whole world to do a whole life coach program for 9 days, we change the world. If I could get them to do it 3 times, we'd own the world. We'd own the universe, wouldn't we? And that's the deal. You change your mind, you change everything. You change your underwear, it stays fresh for a day. That's it. That's all. Okay. What would you like to know? That's what I'm going to do, is go through it with everyone. We'll stay here until we have satisfied as much as we can. Anything else you want to know?
No, I think there's something going on emotionally, and I think it's.
You think?
Yeah,
You think?
Yeah. No, I
You
do.
think?
But I was just trying to figure out what it is, and I think it's maybe that I lost a child.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
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 So I'm gonna do those pelvic squats and put love into myself. And
Well, no, there's guilt here. Get rid of the guilt, we get rid of the hip pain. Because what do the hips hold? Anger. It holds anger. So now we found out what it was.
bingo.
Yeah. And you're not guilty for anything. And when you do those squats, I want to say, I love you, hips. And I want you to stroke them gently. Just, I love you. Thanks for the pain. Because if it wasn't for the pain, okay, I wouldn't have the biggest pain, Daryl, telling me that it was something sexually, and I wouldn't have realized that it was because I'm missing a beautiful spirit being. So talk to her. Talk to her.
Yes.
Okay. Shalou, do you want to add anything?
In the last 2 years,
Can you speak loud though?
so in the last 2 years, it has been an honor, honestly, to work with people and watch them when they catch on, heal themselves, you know. People will come in that, you know, as usual, we're like the last step. They've done it.
Oh, we're the last step, okay?
And then they come.
I'm a quack, not a real doctor, you know, just trying to take people's money. And why is that?
I'm going to disagree. You're the first step because we realize we need help.
Well, no, for you maybe, Amanda, but the majority of the people,
And she's meaning majority.
they
It's
go
not personal.
and they'll check
I don't
all
take
the
it
other
personally.
No, I
things
know.
out, and then on the last step, they're like, okay, well, I hope this really works. You know, and I'm like, I'm just a tool. I have the medicine, I have the knowledge, I can help you, but ultimately, each person has to heal themselves. And it has been an honor to watch many heal themselves, and others that just can't grasp that because they're so stuck in that victimitis and not realizing how powerful they are. So I really hope that everyone hears and feels that power that they hold.
You all have it. Ask yourself where you're just holding back from totally forgiving yourself for something. And then those people that told you that you shouldn't, where are they right now? They're not thinking about you. They're not thinking about this. But you've held on to the torch, and I mean torch, because you're burning yourself up with it. What would you like to say?
This is really amazing. A lot of what you're saying, I've kind of done a lot of studying, so a lot of it does seem very familiar to me, and I love it.
The problem is with studying and reading books and listening to audios will never be like a brain boot camp situation. But go ahead, love.
Oh, yeah, so, actually it's true, because one of the things is that, so I'm even going to refer to the Bible, and it is about, I've always struggled with love yourself, do unto others as you do unto you, learning to love yourself. So there's always been that little ultimate thing of being selfish in saying, but if I love myself, and then I put myself first before all these people, it's what we just said, it becomes selfish, and that can be, you know, like a challenge, I find. But I'm also realizing at this point that the more that I do that, and I'm doing a lot of things that I know make me feel good, and I know are good for me, choices that I'm making, that I am actually smiling more, and I am feeling people looking at me and going, wow, like you're, and I'll go, yeah.
Well, why can't we keep it really simple? So if I unconditionally love and heal myself, how many people will that murder? It will let your family off the hook because they don't know how to heal you and they're stressed out. You're actually creating your family, you're making your family sick as long as you stay sick. That's not about a guilt thing. That's not what I said. But I will tell you this much. Don't buy into this BS belief system of unconditional love. Just do it part of the way. And you just said, the more I do, I feel better. So if I do it 100%, I might destroy the world. Well, how does that sound to you? Does that sound anywhere near logic? No. So why can't you be logical? Because people are not logical. They are their belief systems, which aren't their belief systems. Whatever that means.
So almost 3 months ago, I fell, and so I had a shoulder arm issue. So now I'm trying to, because they say it's inflammation, so I'm just finding out.
Have you ever been worked on?
I'm just going to the chiropractor now, and then Kathy was doing some ultrasonic with me. And I'm also realizing I just Googled, and it's like for yoga stretches and things like that, to be able to work on my own.
No, the crab stretch. Look up the crab stretch.
Okay.
Because I put that together, and it works the whole upper body and loosens everything up, even into the neck. But I will tell you that if you want to take the time, even with people here, I'll work on you no more than 5 minutes, and I'll give you more relief in 5 minutes than you've gotten everything else. The real reality is it's, you got to understand, it's just the tissues bound together. That's all. It's nothing else. It's nothing else. Chiropractor's not doing anything for it. He can't. It's your tissues have bound together. We need to open them up, and then the circulation, the energy goes through, and instantaneously you're back.
Really?
Oh, really? Does he offer you a money-back guarantee?
Yeah. No, honestly, that's.
I know. I'm going to keep coming back to things. I'm trying to use logic here. See, I even told you we do a money-back guarantee, but see, people will go to the chiropractor because you're programmed to go to the chiropractor. People go to the chiropractor every week, every 2 weeks for their life, and he's trying to push things back into place. And guess what happened? When you hurt your shoulder, it got inflamed. When it got inflamed, the tissues got dehydrated, so they actually got stuck together and they shrunk. I'm going to go in there, and in 5 minutes, I probably will get rid of 80% of your problem in 5 minutes. If I worked on you for 25 minutes, you probably walk out of here. You know, people can't even lift their arm up like this much. And after we do one treatment, it's up over their head.
You just made me think of something, Daryl. And I ask this question is
What?
tied in together. Is because my pelvis something tied into the hip as well?
Well, it's your bowel. It's your bowel. Your bowel's not, it's better, but it's not great yet. Your bowel's not great yet. Are you drinking wine still?
Not very often.
How often?
Maybe once a month.
Are you structuring it?
Yeah, I have. Not all the time.
Is it organic?
Yes.
Okay, you still should structure it though.
Yeah.
But just know this: why aren't you doing the pelvic squats, and I can show you some abdominal work that you can do in here. Remember something: you're only as strong as your abdominal muscles. Okay, they're called your core. Okay, get your core strong, and get your hips stretched out. It's over. That's it.
I believe it can be. I believe it. I do. I believe in the non-surgical. I've never felt anything like that, and I've done lots of stuff with my body in the last 8 years. It is amazing.
We will be the practitioners of the future, because my stuff is not based on treatment; it's based on training. It's about training all our patients. You got to make a patient into their own practitioner, and the reality is this. Let me see you go to another therapist. You know, every therapist that goes through our course, and we've got thousands of practitioners now, and they all give a money back guarantee. And guess who supports that money back guarantee? Me. Understand something. If it works, it works, and if it doesn't, it doesn't. And if you're continually going back to someone, you might want to just stop and think for a second. Isn't it amazing how we'll just keep doing the same thing that doesn't work? Look at people that have stage 4 inflammation. They'll go get chemo, okay, that has a 2.3 success rate after 5 years. And I can tell you right now, the people that come to us with them feeling the way they do, we're over 80%. But we don't go around flaunting it, and I'm not going to, because it's got nothing to do with me. It's got to do with the person learning how to love, honor, and respect themselves and make higher vibrational decisions. So yeah, we are not the ones. We're the ones that create the strategies and give the strategies, but you're the healer. You must become your own healer. That's it. Look at the crab stretch and really do it like I do it. I did a whole video in Texas, and it's about an hour and a half long, and I'm by a pool. If you go to the DIY guide on my library, go to drdetox.com, click on library, go into the DIY guide, watch the pelvic stretches and the crab stretch. And then, that's what I would do. But if you want, before you go today, you'll time it. I'll work on you for 5 minutes. And you know what? This is not to be a smarty. I'm trying to tell you that we know what we're doing. And it's not going to come back. It'll only come back if you go home and drink a lot of wine tonight, alcohol, or do a lot of sugar, ice cream, or if you go home and you yell and scream for about an hour so that you really get the adrenaline going again. That's it. Everything is about acidity. Acidity is like super glue, okay?
Sorry, and you were saying sugar too? Like, because it's...
Sugar is cocaine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, sugar is cocaine. And the reality is, if we were to take a look at everybody who can't get rid of their illness, they're still pumping down the sugar. Okay? And if they're not doing that, they're doing the self-loathing is destroying them. But if we ask them, they'd say no, because they're so used to beating themselves up that that's the love they have for themselves. So you can't ask a person what logic is, because logic is only their belief systems. It's nothing else. So everybody here thinks you're logical. Well, if you were logical, you wouldn't be sick. Or you wouldn't have an illness. You wouldn't have a chronic problem. So if logic were to prevail, but human beings are not logical if they don't have logical beliefs. That's all. I already keep telling you, the subconscious, which is 90% of your brain, is only a computer. Whatever program gets shoved into it, you're playing. So whether you like me, don't like me, why would I care? It's just you're playing a computer program. And if I really came from my heart, then I should have no reason to judge myself on how I did it. Maybe I could do it better. Maybe I could figure a different way, because today you're walking the tightrope, baby, to talk the truth. As soon as you talk the truth, the only virus I see is victimitis. You say one thing and a person's just right in defense right away, right? What do you think, love?
I'm just here really to learn. I'm new at all this. I'm lucky I have a great family. That's about it.
Well, that's beautiful.
Sorry.
You never have to apologize for showing any type of emotion like this. You know that, right? Never apologize. No, you're just a beautiful woman, and you just want good things for everyone. That's it. How could anybody judge you? So don't judge yourself. Okay? But if you have any questions, just ask, and I'll give you my phone number at the end too. Okay? But don't call me after 11, because Lori will get jealous.
Oh, I'm sorry. I found out I have some cancer in my mouth.
In your what?
In my mouth.
In your mouth?
They've removed part of it because we didn't know what it was.
You have cancer in your mouth.
Yes, they did a biopsy. And it's supposed to be an aggressive one, but
But do you know what aggressive one means? Okay, that the cells are really inflamed.
Right.
Okay.
That's what they
I know,
say.
but guess what? Can we talk for a second openly? What did you eat this morning?
We had breakfast this morning.
Well, that's good.
But
You
that
had
was-
breakfast.
no, we had it on the way up here.
What'd you
We
have?
had eggs and ham.
Okay, so guess what? So the reality is where'd you get it from?
The
Restaurant.
Yeah, it's a little restaurant we stopped at. on the
Eggs
way
and
up.
ham. Well, you should not be eating any animal products if you're dealing with stage 4 inflammation. Okay? And the only thing that I would deal with, and can I be honest, is okay,
Sure.
without you feeling hurt?
No, right ahead.
Okay, you're backed up in your bowels really bad. You have an extra 30 pounds of weight, and that weight is have to understand it's not weight, it's inflammation and infection. So she's puffy, right? You're puffy, okay, and you're puffy because you're both retaining water, and you have to retain water because you're on fire. You're on fire like her, okay? All right, so you have to retain water because your body's logical. Hey, inflammation, inflame. So it says if we're inflame and on fire, we're going to draw the water. We're going to draw the water to the area. So puffy face, inflammation. Puffy belly, inflammation. How about people that have stage 4 inflammation? They're drawing the water off their lungs or their abdomen when they get really bad and they start to get ready to leave the planet. That's what happens if you don't watch it. So you got to learn how to really love and care for yourself. There's no time that there's nobody that can put a time limit on when you need to leave. You just need to change your personality. Are you willing to do blender drinks of berries and black gold and oat milk and salads and avocado and maybe bean soup, maybe vegetable soup, okay? And that's it. And then drink about 3 quarts to 4 quarts of structured, warm to hot water with black diamond in them. Guess what? Then, let's say we did this. I've got what's called silver bullet gel. You take the silver bullet gel, which is totally organic. You put a couple drops of frankincense, not frankincense. Frankincense is about 1,000% stronger than frankincense. And it's the highest vibrational essential oil on the planet. We'll also put a few drops of C60 in there. You'll put it in your mouth and you will swish it in your mouth as long as you possibly can. And we will do that. Okay, and please, we will do that once every hour to once every 2 hours. And then you'll go back after that in a few days, and you know what they're going to go? You sure this is the same mouth? So understand something. If I was going to have stage 4 inflammation, which they call cancer, I would want it in my mouth. Because you can put all the greatest things in there. You can hold them in there as long as you want. And understand something. You need to get rid of, you are bloated a lot. You feel sluggish down here. You have stomach troubles all the time. And guess what? Whether you want to believe it or not, you have a lot of putrefaction in your large intestine. And did you ever live on a farm or go to a farm?
I was raised on.
Okay, well, but did you ever go to the manure pile to dig in to get the worms to go fishing? I did a lot.
But I didn't like touching them.
Well, you don't have to touch them, but do you know about?
Yes.
See, we all have this thing, right? Well, I didn't touch them. Okay, I didn't ask you if you touched them. Okay.
I would touch him. That's me.
Yeah, but see, we all have different personalities because we have different belief systems, and that's just a beautiful thing. What if we were all the same? Well, then we wouldn't have an adventure, would we? Okay, so now, if you were to dig a pitchfork into that manure pile and flip it over, the gas came off it, didn't it? You could actually see the gas. Okay, so guess what? You do not have cancer. You got gas ass. That's the disease you have, gas ass. You are creating gas from your ass. And that's from the manure sitting down here because you're stagnating and rotting out. The plaque and the hot air comes up and those small particles are going in your mouth. Now, if you were pooping in your mouth, after a while, do you think it might get infected and inflamed? So what do you think if we were to maybe take the cork out and we were to not be bloated anymore and you were to get rid of your abdomen and you were to get rid of the swelling in your face and in your body and you were to drop 20 pounds? and then we were to swish that around. But the problem is are you going to be able to actually love yourself enough to come up against the addictions you have?
Yeah, I don't think I have too many, but
Well, let's put it this way. We're going to find out, won't we? If you decide you want to play, okay? But the reality is do you live with someone?
no.
You live by yourself?
Yes.
Okay. Well, that might be okay because maybe you could stick to this. But can you promise not to bring any of the snacks into the house?
I can do that.
You know all
I have
this-
a bunch there.
You
already, but
you
yes.
have a big bunch, baby.
Yes. Well,
You eat snacks all day, every day.
now,
You snack a lot. No, please. That's not.
I'll try not
We're
to.
trying.
Just oranges
Oh,
and
I'll
apples
try
more.
not to.
Oranges and apples, my name snack.
Okay, I'm talking about the other snacks.
Yeah, very little, but yeah, I do.
Very little? Then you should be a lot littler.
I should.
Yeah. So oranges and apples don't create this type of body. And I'm not picking on it. But understand something. It's all an illusion. It's an illusion that we eat well, okay, when we're not feeling good. Remember something. You have to be totally infected to get inflammation. Are you with me? Infection creates inflammation. You can't have inflammation without infection. Now, to have stage 4 inflammation, how much infection do you need in the body? How do you get the infection in your body? Well, you put it in your mouth, don't you? And then guess what? It's got to travel 30 feet. But the problem is with you is it's been really slowing down by the time it gets to the end of the highway. And now it's putrefying and rotting. So, if the mouth is the front door and the rectum, sigmoid colon area, which you've got congestion in there, is the back door, do you think it's not going to create an effect?
Sure.
Okay, there you go. All right. So before you all leave, make sure you get their email, and then I will give you all the latest copy of the Perfect Day Consultation Guide. It's the most amazing manual you'll ever read. If you actually read it and follow it, you'll turn this all around. How lonely are you? Honestly,
Honestly, I'm a very active person. I'm a director
I said
of
how long.
senior
I didn't
center.
ask you how active you were.
I think that indicates my loneliness because I like being with people. I love being with people. Most people like me because I smile at them a lot. It's my only compliment I keep getting. But,
It's the only one.
that's it.
I'm sure there's more, love. It's the one that you learned that if you smile, you'll get a compliment. No, hold on a second here. Hold on. Trust me, there's a lot of other things that I would say about you. And they're nice things. I'm not saying.
Scared me.
No, I'm trying to tell you. You've got a lot more. You've got a lot more than you think. Okay, it's not just your smile. That's all. Anyways, you think about it. Just know this. I'll give you my phone number. You can call me. We can talk about it. Shilu will talk to you about it as well. If you want to move forward with this, you can. You have to understand something. There will be a lot of people that you can give them all of this stuff that is not life-threatening, just loving themselves, and they will opt out. Does anybody know why? Because on a subconscious level, you deserve to suffer or you deserve to die. And I'm not talking to you personally. I'm trying to tell you, tell me I'm lying. And then start walking through life and look at it. It's everywhere. These are landmines created by dysfunctional belief systems in the subconscious. And because people have been like this all their life, they think it's normal. Well, you know what we think is normal? We think disease is normal. We think it's very normal that, I hope you know that 92%, okay, of all the food in a supermarket is disease causing. I hope you know that 75% to 70% in a health food store is disease causing. Okay? So understand this. We know that at least 30% of the population is on their way out. Okay? If you take a look at the people, do they look healthy? You can hardly see any healthy people. People are rotting out right now. Okay? And what they've done is they've programmed everyone to eat crap. They feel like crap. And they don't need to do anything else. They don't need to come up with any more stuff. They can just sit back and relax and watch everybody eat themselves to death. And I say these things not to be cruel. But why don't you go take a look at, like we say, take a look at a picture back in 1970, any beach in North America, and go take a look at any beach last summer.
Big change.
Oh. Lori and I, believe it or not, and I'm not being nasty, it's just that I can't handle seeing the suffering that people think is normal. When we live in Mexico, we were living in Mexico, now we're moving to Puerto Rico, we will go to the beach early in the morning, and then we will leave. We will not go in the afternoon. It's too much for me to handle. Looking at people and what they're eating, what they're drinking, the shape of their body. They're so unconscious. It's like they're all having this eating fest of death. You do know, does everybody know that right now that we're looking at 86 to 92% of the population is overweight? That now they changed it 20 years ago, that obesity is 40 pounds overweight. It was 10 pounds. That 10 pounds was obesity. Yeah, when you're 10 pounds overweight, you're obese. And that's the truth. That's 10 pounds of inflammation and infection. Who can handle that? Right? That's 10 pounds of infection and inflammation. And it's usually right here. And that's because the waistline is now the sewer dump. It's a swamp. So when you look at your friends and everybody looks the same. Puffy, bloated. And if they don't, they're underweight because they're so acidic, they're burning up and they're losing their muscle. Do you understand? And all of this is normal now. The medical system has won. They've won. Because they've won. Because the medical system is big pharma. Okay. All right, let's move on. Who would like to, let's just do who would like to speak next, and we'll make sure we get to everyone. Would you like to go, love?
Okay. I have no issues with that.
Okay.
So, not sure where to begin. So my issues are that I have been having issues with my speech, my hands, and my eyes. The best way I can describe it, because there's no pain associated with it.
You have no pain.
No pain associated. The best way I can describe it is an electrical brownout. So,
An electrical brownout.
so a lot of
Okay,
people don't
no,
know what
I
that
understand.
means, but it's like the electricity is not necessarily moving, so there's obviously an energy blockage. And the longer I talk, the more my speech goes. I actually will lose the ability to speak. And same with if I try to type or write, I can do it for short terms. So I've been...
Okay, so you know that is also adrenal burnout.
I will not disagree with that.
Well,
And the reason why is, over the last year, I have accepted a purpose, if you will, which is why I was laughing earlier. I wasn't judging, I was just laughing, because
okay.
my purpose is, although I'm not necessarily being personally attacked by our government, my purpose is to figure out exactly how they're breaking the law against us, and I'm coming up with the arguments to take them down. Now, my issue, and this is what I have managed to identify.
When did you start doing this? Your purpose? Honestly.
September 2021, but...
When did this condition come?
Let me just give the detail.
Yes,
Not
love.
long. A year ago from about now, I did change my course because, and don't laugh, I don't care if you laugh, I'm going to tell you anyway. It came to me, it's not from me, it was through me that I realized the direction of purpose needed to know. And so I've done a lot of channeling. A lot of the information that I get comes to me, and I've been open to it.
Okay,
And
what information comes to you when you channel?
It's the direction I need to look in order to understand how to break in the law. And I've helped people who are facing charges.
For instance, what? Okay.
Facing charges by the government, and I've been helping them figure out how to defend themselves. My issue that I've come to realize, the speech I started losing around March 1st. So, and I've realized I pushed too hard, so I'm trying to rest and put myself first. I realized that I'm taking their burden and make them my own. I'm trying to not go with that, but I may want to help them. I have to remind myself that I'm just a vessel, and their problem is not my problem, so I don't own it. Just show them, so I can be a vessel to help. So I'm trying to teach myself right now.
I think you need to take a hiatus from this. You need to take at least 6 months hiatus.
We don't have 6 months.
Oh, we do. We do. You don't have 6 months because that's your belief system. Understand something. Everybody thought the world was going to end 2 years ago. Okay? You know, I was saying on a one-a-day today that, you know, this is how the mind works. When they said no more concerts, I think concerts are the greatest things in the world. And I just went, oh my God, that's the end of the world. No more concerts. And it took me only about 30 seconds. I went, Daryl, don't be so silly. The concerts are coming back. Everything's going to come back. And the reality is the world needs to change. It may not be changing like we want, but the reality is I'm going to keep on telling you, watch out. You need to take a 6-month hiatus because the fight is killing you. And you need to take a 6-month hiatus and then come back and do this if it's your passion and purpose. I'm just telling you what I feel because I do get stuff. You need 6 months away. I wanted to say 3 and it said, no, you will not heal by then. You need 6 months completely cut off from this stuff. And the reality is if you want to recharge, and then you've got to come back and do it differently. Because right now, I believe that you're on a tether, a very thin tether right now. And God love you for it. And I mean that. That is so beautiful that you're going to help people that are struggling, you know, to do that. Myself, it takes a lot. It takes a lot. It takes a lot to do what you're doing. So I honor you for that. But you need a 6-month break. Okay? And understand something. If you're actually going to tell me that if you took a 6-month break, the world will end, then I will tell you. I know, but you just did say that. You did just say that. Because we got to watch out for our subconscious. Now, the reality is then why is your subconscious saying that you only have value when you're on the burnout? So I need you to really take 6 months. It's going to be a beautiful 6 months. At least it's not the winter. Take 6 months of the beautiful summer. They're not coming at us until near until it starts to get cold again up here. That's when they're going to really.
I'll be in Florida.
Huh?
I'll be in Florida.
Okay, but guess what? I know, but you need 6 months though. I mean, this voice thing is just a warning. Okay. How would you like to? Would you like to have Parkinson's or Bell's palsy, or would you like to have MS? Which one? Pick one, because you're on your way. You're on your way, and you know what? This is. I want you to take a look at this. And I do admire you, and I want to say this. But I love my fellow human beings so much I was willing to get a disease. I was willing to burn myself out. Nobody needs a sacrifice. Nobody needs a sacrifice. It will do no good. You know, the best way to win is to grin. Is to laugh, is to dance, is to make your own rules completely. Don't bend the rules, don't break the rules, make your own. Be happy, be joyful. If everybody was that way, and we just ignored these bullies. So understand that. Okay? You need 6 months, and I'm telling you, you need 6 months. And I will never say I told you so, but just remember my little voice in your head that's, you know, like not the greatest voice in the world right now, but remember my little voice, because you do need 6 months. So July, August, September, October, November, December, look at that. You get to go all the way through Christmas, and then January, you'll hit the ground running if you want. But back off, and then recycle your energy and feed your spirit. When you feed your spirit, your voice comes back. Okay, so there's a lady, and she lives with a man, and he's a damn terrorist. Her husband terrorized her so much that when she speaks, it's so choppy you can understand it, right? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Good. Anyways, so now it's a big secret. I like that. So anyways, so she decides she can't take it anymore. So she calls me up and goes, hi, it's da-da-da. I'm not going to say her name. I didn't know it was her. The stuttering was so slight. And she says, I left him 2 weeks ago. And I said, I told you when I met her. I said, somebody has been really doing this to you. So, you know, she came to one of our courses. We talked and we figured out who. So it took her 1 year after taking the course to actually, she's done now. She's done. She finally bought into, see, the biggest thing is, can you buy into giving yourself this time and this love?
Well, I'm already committing myself to it. I took yesterday off. I'm taking tomorrow off. And I came in today to see you, Daryl. I would be off today. I would be meditating. I'd be sunning. I would be clapping. I would be loving myself right now when I am, because I came in here to talk to you.
I just know this, that you have to come first right now.
So, and I'm doing my affirmations. I don't always get to sit in front of a mirror, but I still say my affirmations to myself when I can understand myself. Yes. I mean, Shiloh has given me the guidance, and I'm doing the best that I can to do all the things she's recommending, and if I don't get it done, I forgive myself.
Listen. 17 years ago, I walked away from a huge business. I was in the top 10 of natural health clinics dealing with stage 4 inflammation. I walked away. I just walked away. I had to walk away and take a couple of years, okay, and come back with a different attitude, all right? I had to. I'm still in the health business, but when I walked away, I said I never want to be in the health business again. Okay? Because I had to take a different attitude about it.
And I get that because, as I said, where I should have been, allowed myself to be a vessel,
Yes.
I brought everyone's problems and made it my own, and I shouldn't have done that. But as Shalou has witnessed, when I'm picking through the rules and I solve the problem, I'll start giggling because it brings me joy.
I know, and this is the only thing, I get it, but it's the only...
I'm saying,
Just
understand
practice
what you're saying.
not getting the ladder out and then going up and nailing yourself to the cross.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So it's similar because you enjoy the healthcare, but you have to find a different path.
You have to detach yourself from it because it's an adventure, okay?
And this is what I'm identified, but now I have to give myself time to heal.
Yeah, so now you're Minnie Mouse. Your voice, it's...
Oh. My husband calls me Duck and Duck.
Oh, really? Okay. Yeah.
33 years last week.
Yeah. But I see you. I see you. I see it all. And I think it's wonderful. Let's just make sure that, you know.
So, and when I say I don't have 6 months, it's not that I want to express. It's not that I don't think, it's not that I think the world's going to end. It's just that some of the things I've got on the go, they have deadlines. So, Shalom has an appeal before the court. I don't want to abandon that because we have a deadline. And she needs to win. She has another matter before the labor board. The reality is, I think I'm human. I'm written default win because they won't respond.
Just picture it all just resolving itself so you have the 6 months.
I know, but I don't think realizing that Shalom has to learn this information and I'm giving it to her. But it won't, unfortunately, someone needs to put their feet to the fire to get it done.
Okay, all right.
It's just not me. So I have to find people to do it for me.
Good. Rally the team.
Except there's very few people who know that I know.
I get it.
So I'm having to teach them.
Okay. Well, just try to do as much as you can.
No, try
For
to
resting.
as little as they can.
No, try to do as much as you can.
Yeah.
I didn't want to say it, but try to see if you can love yourself.
Hmm.
It all comes down to this, guys. It comes down to this. And I'm telling, but I do love myself. No, you don't. Not enough that you'll stop harming yourself.
If I don't put the mask on my face first, I can't help anyone else in the plane.
That's right.
I know this.
Okay. Good.
So
Beautiful.
it's just, and then I have.
Hey, listen, I know, you know, you
That's
get
okay,
going, you
that's
get
okay.
going, you get going, you get going, you get going, you go, holy crap, what did I create? Now it's going to take me a while to get out of it. But make sure you slow the train down.
My fault here, like yesterday, I ate rested all day. So the battery's gone been charged. Today, I'm energetic and I want to go, and I have to go, huh?
No, you don't go.
But it's just me because I'm an adventurer. And I love just exploring and learning.
I get it. I do. And that's what makes
feeds
life.
my soul.
That's what life's all about.
Mm-hmm.
It's all about every day, what are you doing different? And if you're not doing something every day that scares you a little, but excites you a lot, what are you doing? Nothing.
And that's my fun. That scares me a little and it excites me a lot. Because, oh my God, it's so much fun to realize I got the final phone.
Yeah, but you know what? Just make sure that you don't lose your ovaries, okay? All right. What would you like to say?
I just came here to, I didn't know what to expect. I met them, I met Shilu and Kathy at the Great Awakening, and just kind of connected and thought they could help with people. I've been getting off pharmaceuticals for the last 3 years. I haven't been to a doctor. I struggle with
But you've taken you 3 years to get off pharmaceuticals?
Yes.
Well, then
Pharmaceuticals.
no. But the reality is, it's taking you that long because your diet hasn't changed enough. Because you've got so much inflammation and infection.
I know I do.
Yeah, and so you're still trying to numb out the pain emotionally and physically. I see it.
I know I got a lot of issues, but
No, you don't have a lot of issues. You don't have a lot of issues. Don't focus on the issues. Focus on the love. Focus on the unconditional love. You don't have a lot of issues. Why do we need to talk about your issues? Why don't we talk? Well, if we focus on your issues, are you going to get rid of them? Why don't we just focus on you loving yourself? What would that look like if you loved yourself, totally unconditionally loved yourself? Have you ever had a perfect day consultation?
no, quite honestly, I never even heard of you before.
Well, what I'd like to do is we will send them the Perfect Day Guide, then take a look at it. And then I would really highly suggest that you get a consultation from Shalou. And she builds a strategy for you from the moment you rise until you go to bed. And guess what? You may you may not be able to love yourself that much, but at least you can start trying. Because the reality is that we've all been born. We were all not born. We were raised, okay? We were raised to be sick. People don't like to hear this, but it's the only way that I can fathom it right now. And I do believe that there is an evil entity that's allowed to reign on this planet. And then you've got a lot of people that say, I'm just doing my job, okay? Because they bought into the belief system that poverty consciousness and they'll do anything for money. You know, we won't just hurt our fellow human beings, we'll kill them for it. So the reality is that I don't believe that's ever going to change. That's never going to change. I believe that this is a training ground. Planet Earth is a training ground. And all the suffering that every one of you do, you're feeding this entity. And that's why it's getting stronger. If anybody noticed, the majority of the population has never been so sick and suffering. And the entity is getting stronger. Well, the entity will consume itself pretty soon, maybe blow up. Who knows? I don't really know. The reality is I'm having a great day every day because I'm not going to be attached to it, even if I believe that the world's even going to go into more suffering here until they're down on their knees begging God, please, and then figuring out it takes teamwork and you better get off your damn knees and you better start taking action and loving yourself. The reality is if we were to unconditionally love ourselves and really take that stand, there'd be no wars and there'd be no COVID. You know, people that are self-loathers, people that feed off negative, they're just waiting for the next crisis. Look at your family, how you talk about it. I mean, at the family dinner, we're either talking about what diseases we have, what drugs we're on, or how they're trying to kill us. Wow, I can't wait to come to your house. I'm not coming. And that's the truth.
Okay.
Yeah. What about you? What would you like to say?
Well, I'm reflecting on a few things here that make a lot of sense. Maybe it'll rejuvenate a few thoughts here in this room. But I was the absolute worst customer for the pharmaceutical or medical industry up until February 2021. Because I've never been in a hospital, never was on drugs, nothing.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I had the same as Kathy over here. We met each other in 2010, 2011, when we both were told we had cancer, right? Mm-hmm. But I wasn't ill. I just was told that, going back to this blood test, and they just said, oh, you got cancer.
You do know that when they do...
I felt good.
I know, but you do know when they do blood tests.
Yeah.
1 second.
We understand.
No, you don't understand. They collect them, and until they have so many, they don't send them to the lab. They just sit there.
Oh, yeah.
You do understand that they do all their blood tests under blue light, which are inaccurate.
Yeah.
You have to do blood tests under sunlight. Where do they do blood tests under sunlight? I call bullshit.
Yeah.
Whatever. Do whatever you want. Everybody do whatever you want.
Yeah.
It's all just nutbag crazy for me.
Yeah. But long story short,
yeah,
we didn't do anything other than just some natural things and cleaned it up. And 11 years go by, right? But when I reflect on all my years, those years were high vibrational. I was happy at home. I had a great business.
So what happened?
I had 60 employees under my employment.
I know, but you were rich with it. So what happened? What happened?
Well, I took on this COVID.
Yeah, there it is. And I knew it. I didn't want to say it.
And it happened right at that time, right? I took on that ownership of anger. Absolutely.
COVID anger. It's a killer.
I did, because I seen the corruption. And of course, I'm in the circle of people of you.
Oh, come on.
Of the hundreds of other
come on, though. You know what? The
We
corruption
knew
is
what was
never
going
going to go away. It's always going to be here. And when you focus on it, you'll see more of it. I didn't see any corruption.
Yeah. But
I saw the majority being dysfunctional and buying into it, and God loved them anyway. I'll mind my business.
Yeah. So absorb the anger, and also what they were doing to our world and our children's world and our grandchildren's world, you know, that couldn't go to school and all the things that they made them to do. So to me, it was a war of evil and good, right? And so there's this thing I took on as anger. So I could reflect on that, and that's when this cancer took fire without me knowing, because I was carrying this.
Yeah, I already just told you.
Disturbed.
I told you about the lady that.
Exactly. Yeah. And so I
Cancer
can see
is
that.
triggered by emotion. It's
Correct.
okay. Remember something. Frequency turns it on. Frequency turns it off. Pick your frequency. Tune in.
Yeah.
Tune in before it's too late. Mind your own business. I'm going to tell you something, and people aren't going to want to hear this. All the protesters never made a difference. The best protesting is not buying crap, drinking crap, eating crap. What if nobody participated? That's all. And that's the God's truth. Oh, then everything would break. No, it's not true. They've already strategized everything. When you do this protest, they do this. They've got this, they got that. If nobody shows up, there's no war. Do whatever you want to do. You know what? Most people that were doing this were looking for something to get angry about. And you only fed the anger that was in you because you never went in and dealt with your subconscious and got rid of your belief systems and learned about unconditional love. That would be caring for yourself. Is this a wise thing for me to do? To go into something, okay, where there's a bunch of angry people. And I'm telling you, I've never been to a rally where there wasn't a bunch of angry people. I would rather... Anybody go see the movie The Jesus Revolution? Okay. All right. Well, there it is. Okay, hippies weren't stinky. They were just unconditional love, right? That's what Jesus was, unconditional love. You can give your point of view out, but you cannot go to war every day. And when you go to war inside your mind, you will blow up your body. And they know it. The greatest thing that they won from COVID was the stress that created all the new cancers, the diabetes, the heart disease, the high blood pressure. Drug sales went up 10 times. The stress of the end of the world scenario. I got healthier. It's choices. Blah, 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 blah. Did you hear? Blah, blah. Don't care. Don't care. Don't care. Oh, well, why aren't you coming to protest? Well, don't you think I'm already protesting by teaching unconditional love, trying to get people to eat right, think right, drink right, mind their own business, and play with their children, and stop going and talking about this stuff in front of them? How about this? Stop calling your child autistic or on the spectrum. Stop labeling everybody in the family with a disease. Start labeling everybody in the family as a healing. I think I'm doing my part, thank you. I'm minding my own business, which is what? Unconditional love for myself and everyone else. That would dismantle everything. It would dismantle everything. Don't vote. Don't go vote. Vote for yourself at every present moment that you can. Every breath that you take.
I think the other part of that was, in my own personal experience, my focus in life shifted, and I became, I wanted to know to the bottom what this was, and what do I do to build myself up, protect myself.
What was?
And I was absorbed.
What was?
Well, the virus, when this whole thing.
There wasn't a virus.
Well, you know what I mean? At the beginning, we had to figure out, what was this? I wasn't afraid.
Well, first thing you would have done, the first thing you would have did was went to the dictionary and looked up the definition of virus so that you could just go live life.
It's a step process you go through, right?
No. A virus is a toxin, and it's Greek for toxin, and toxins don't live.
Yeah. My point is, that became the beginning, I believe, of my start, because I didn't have anything before that point, but I think it caught me as an emotion.
Well, no,
Really
see.
drove me. Anger,
frequency.
the anger.
Okay, well, before you entered the womb, you were only light and frequency.
Correct.
So all you did was bring in enough frequency.
Yeah. The other thing that hit me today.
And where is it? Is it prostate?
Well, for me, it's prostate wrapped around my rectum. I had a colostomy because all. These
Okay,
things
so
happen
guess what?
very quickly.
So we got a little bit of sexual stuff going on,
Yep.
and we've got I can't let go of shit.
Yep.
Okay.
But everything's wrapped around.
Well, yeah.
And
So,
now
well,
it's
of
in my
course,
back
it's
and everything. Yeah. So it's all over the place. It's in my back primarily in that area, but everything that I've been doing, once I was aware of it, I was able to stop the spread. So the last year and a half, based on scans, anyway, it ain't spreading anymore.
okay. It's
now
not.
we're trying to go at that hornet's nest.
Well, no. Don't go after the hornet's nest. Because as soon as you break open the hornet's nest, the hornets are going to fly everywhere.
I met with my immune system. Nothing to do with the outside.
You got to watch the way you speak. Yeah. I'm just going to say that. Okay? Yeah. You're still. Did you notice you're still at battle with yourself? Yeah. Okay. Let's say we don't. Let's say we don't fight. Let's say we don't battle. We just love it. We respect what's going on down there and say, I will learn the lesson here, and then you will not be needed. Remember something, the only reason why you grow something is because you store something. The only reason why you grow something is because you store something. The only reason why you grow something is you store it. And when you no longer need to store the issue in the tissue, you no longer need the storage unit. So you need to get that. You're going to need to look at everything a lot more differently. I want you to love your rectum. Do you understand? I want you to love it for what it's done. It's taken on the burden, okay? The burden of you not letting go. It all got stored there. Those cells don't want to be mutated. They don't want to be inflamed. They don't want to be infected. They took on the burden. Talk to that part of your body and thank it. And then guess what? Then change the vibration. So are you doing everything? Can you? Okay, so your rectum's not sealed off, right?
So I didn't quite explain myself. I don't have rectal cancer, but I have pressure against the rectum from the prostate tumor.
Got it.
That wouldn't allow. So when they went up and did scopes and all the tests, there's no cancer in there whatsoever. It's clean.
Well, I know, and guess what? Those scopes irritated it and blew it all up.
Correct.
They went in and blew it up.
Yeah, but before I had the operation, they did a scope test just to be sure if there was cancer, and there was no cancer. So he did a temporary loop because of that fact. But anyway, that's still the same thing. I'm with you there.
Listen, I'm going to tell you something. You did what you did, but guess what? Rectal infusions, CBD suppositories, clapping, advanced water fasting right away, cell sonic, non-surgical. I'm telling you, a whole different outcome. Okay? Once you enter and you go through that door, okay, it takes, with health, you're not going down the rabbit hole.
Yep.
You go into the medical door, and it's going to take you a long time to unwind the damage.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every time you go through that door.
And the only reason I went through that door, because I hadn't passed stool for 5 days because it got so small so quick. And now, it was an emergency intervention. I sure as hell didn't want to do it. But
Well,
it was life or
okay,
death.
but I know, but this is still not on an emotional level, not letting go.
Correct.
There was no need for you to block up. There's so many tricks here. Okay? You could have fed a tube the size of my finger. We could have fed it up this far and then just put in warm to hot structured water with black diamond in it, let it soak, do some non-surgical, okay? And boy, she would have came. She would have came. And understand something, it's the infection that creates the inflammation. So the more sluggish you become, the more inflamed you become. The more inflamed you become, the more swelling you have. The more swelling you have, the smaller the hole gets. So it becomes a domino effect of bouncing back and forth, and because still not letting go. Are you doing pelvic squats?
I don't do public squats.
Well, there you go. That's just the most important thing you could do in your case.
I am learning your clapping and all the things.
No,
that
you need the
show
pelvic
it's
squats. You
great
need to
because
do the pelvic
I
squats
have
throughout the day.
Yeah.
If you're at the bank and you got to be in a line, you do a pelvic
Start
squat
doing
right there,
squats.
and you stay there for 20 minutes. I'll tell you, and then watch that little tumor will drop out of your ass. Let me tell you something right now. You need to open up because you're jam up jelly tight and you're holding on to your SHI.
Literally and figuratively.
So now physically, open up your pelvis physically so that maybe we can start to get you to open up emotionally and figure out what it is that you're unwilling to let go, but you already know. And you don't talk about it.
Well, there's things that you absolutely know, and yet there could be things trapped subconsciously. I don't know. Maybe something from my young age.
Let's look at everything as just an adventure. Look at everything as a game, where you don't have emotional attachment, where you are playing the detective to go figure out without judgment. If you go in without judgment, you get to win. If you just judge yourself one little bit, it shuts the door. It shuts the door. You have to go in without judgment. Can you do that? I'll tell you, it depends on how religious based you are in a lot of cases. It depends on how you've been told you're a failure or unworthy in a lot of cases. And there's a lot of people that are not going to make it. There's a lot of people that are going to burn up in flames. And it's all because of the belief systems that they don't even know or aware that they have. Nobody's coming to save us. So I don't know what to do. I just want to crack open as many coconuts as I can.
The other thing that hit me this weekend, we talk about unconditional love, right?
Right.
I don't know why the hell it hit me, but it sure triggered an emotion I got to work on. But my 4-year-old granddaughter, we were walking in the backyard of the cottage.
Your 4-year-old granddaughter and you were walking?
Yeah.
Okay.
I was walking with
All right.
her, and she said, "Grandpa, I got something I want to show you."
Okay, so what you want to show
She
you?
wanted to show me, she was building this little pile of food for the baby squirrels, which
Okay.
is kind of nice.
Yeah.
And then she reached over and she grabbed 2 blue flowers and 1 yellow flower. I don't know why. And she said, "Grandpa, this is for you." It's crazy. Like that emotional, unconditional love or whatever the heck it is. But it just hit me like a rock.
How old is she?
It still hits me.
She's 4 years old.
4 years old.
Yeah, because she's telling you that you do not love yourself.
Well, something.
Okay, don't do that. Something. See,
Something.
you see, the subconscious jumped in right away,
Right.
and then you dismissed me.
Well,
You dismissed me.
I did not dismiss it. I'm actually agreeing.
No, you didn't agree.
Something's open.
No, you can't do that. You said something.
Yep. Okay.
No, you dismissed it. Did anybody get that? You can.
Okay.
Don't-
Dismissed it as what?
You dismissed it as, well, it could be. That's fluffy. Okay, let's move
No,
on.
no, not fluffy, because it is very strong emotion.
No, it's strong emotion, but I just told you that she handed you those flowers because she said, "Grandpa, you need self-love."
Well, maybe. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Could be. That's
Oh,
why I asked the
oh
question.
no, your 4-year-old is just a dumbass.
Yeah.
Low vibrational adult.
Yeah.
She is a high vibrational spirit being. Guess what? And she's saying, "Come where I am."
Yes. I agree.
No, this is
But
what
I
I
needed to
need. No, I
explain.
needed to talk like this just now to get that through your coconut.
Yeah, that's why I brought it up, to get it in my coconut, what that message really meant. Because I couldn't understand it, but I knew there's a point to it.
She said, "Grandpa, if you don't get self-love, okay, all right?"
I agree, but I needed to hear it, right? I needed to understand it. I knew there was a signal there, but I just couldn't wrap my brain around what is that.
What are you guilty of?
Guilty?
Yeah.
I'm not aware that I'm guilty of anything.
Then
I've never
then stop acting like
crossed the
then
line.
stop acting
I
like it.
speed a lot.
I'm sorry.
You're not letting go. Anybody that creates a growth of anger and hate is guilty of something. But you're not guilty. I didn't say you were guilty. I'm saying what is in your subconscious that you are guilty of that you were made to feel guilty. Look at it. You don't have to be guilty. You just have to be made to feel guilty.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm guilty, but I feel like I'm guilty because I've been judged long enough and strong enough. Do you know what happens to children when they've been judged? They go look for a new family, and they don't care how toxic their friends are. And then they will do what? They'll pull their pants off, they'll drink, they'll do tokes, they'll do drugs, hard drugs, they'll do anything because they need someone to accept them. And when we don't accept ourselves, we will give ourselves a life-threatening disease. And then when we do get it, we go, what the hell did I do? I was unconscious. So stop being unconscious.
Can I just ask him a question?
Yes.
You said you
I'm
said-
done. I wanted, Daryl really brought the message of what I was looking for.
But it's just the speeding comment. You said you speed a lot. Whose opinion you speed a lot? What makes you think you're speeding?
Oh, he just said, what am I guilty of?
Yeah, you said
I
just
speed.
because you said you
It was
speed a
just
lot.
a off-the-cuff
So
remark,
I'm
but
asking you a very specific. Why do you think you're speeding?
I don't believe I am. That's why I drive that speed.
So then you're not speeding, but you just said I speed a lot.
I don't listen to rules. I'm a rule breaker.
But the fact that you acknowledge there's a rule that you broke and therefore you're speeding, it's in your subconscious.
I get it, but that's not even the point here. That's not even the point. The point is there's people that speed, okay? Forget about the laws, but people who speed, we know that they have anxiety. They're running from themselves and they're also running to somewhere else. So if you were to just, let's forget the law, let's just calm it down and go 10 miles below the speed limit and see how that growth starts to calm down. Let's not get off track. This is not a law-abiding thing. This is a love-abiding thing. Thank you.
Thank you.
No, thank you.
I really don't have no issues, to be honest. I'm a pretty healthy guy. I'll tell you something that happened to me, though.
Please.
I had a sore back not that long ago, about 2 months now, I guess.
Yes.
And this guy came to me, a guy that I hardly know, really. I built some cabinets for him, so I kind of got to know him a little bit. And he called me up for some more work, and I told him my back was sore. So he said, I'm going to come over and have a coffee with you. So he brought some coffee. We talked. And then he says, I brought this holy oil. So what he did was, he said, I want to give you some. I said, oh, that's good. I'm fine with that. I truly believe in God and everything, so I'm good. He says, okay. So he opened it up and rubbed a little bit on each wrist. And I said, well, my spine's it's bothering me, so they put some back here. Then he did. And then he closed the bottle. We held hands. He said a prayer. And I haven't had a sore back since.
Beautiful. And I believe you.
That's a great story.
He didn't add that the day before that, he couldn't get out of bed. He was walking with a walker. That's what brought this whole thing
It's
on.
true.
It's 100% true.
Beautiful.
As far as my health, I'm not a sick kind of person. I try to eat good. I take supplements. I grow my own garden. I raise my own chickens. Try to be as self-sustained as I can be, and that's about it.
Party down.
I've had issues when I was young, but I don't know. I haven't had anything in a long time other than that my back problem. But other than that, now
You know,
I get a massage every other week, and it's good.
It's very important that you're at peace with yourself, and that you don't become a terrorist to yourself. Love?
In 2011, I was diagnosed with gastrointestinal
2011
Yeah,
with gastrointestinal.
stromal tumor.
Okay, stroma tumor, yeah.
It was found by mistake. I had an MRI on my tailbone because I had an issue there, and they found the tumors. And there was too many for surgery at that point, and I was already into natural health, so I just decided not to. They wanted me on chemo. That was the only thing they offered, and I decided against it. And I did it for 11 years, and I kept it in control. It was great. And then in 2018, my stress level kind of went crazy, and many things happened in the family, and
See, it's always stress, eh?
yeah.
So once you have stage 4 inflammation, and then you bring it back, or even do whatever you say that's not around anymore, remember something. It was the program that created it. It's a program that creates it. Program creates every dis-ease, if you want to call it that. It's being out of balance somewhere, not in harmony with yourself somewhere. We don't teach it, and if you don't teach it, then this is what happens. We don't teach it in school. I mean, think about it. Nobody comes out of school knowing how to eat. Nobody knows how to love themselves. Nobody knows how to love another human being. That's a true story. And you can tell me that you did, but if you want to tell me that you know how to love, eat, and feed another human being when you get out of school, I'll tell you, you're lying to yourself. I've never met anyone. There's some that know a little bit more than others. But the reality is, just think if you came out and you had unconditional love for yourself and you weren't desperate to have someone love you. How would your life be? There it is. Yeah. And you can then, if you have people around you that are anxiety and it doesn't bother them, it'll bother the people around the house. Then the people around the house take on the anxiety and the stress as if it's normal. Now the whole family lives off of anxiety and stress, but they all call themselves normal. Until a blowout. And then when you do have a blowout, nobody knows what to do with it because nobody's prepared emotionally. Because you've all been taught to suffer for each other. Whoever suffers the most in the family loves the family the most, right? Well, that means I lose because I'm not going to do it. And you are a suffering agent.
All of a sudden, just in the last year, it's just gone nuts. This is all tumor now.
Yeah, but guess what? You can only take it to the point. How did that happen? Well, the straw that broke the camel's back wasn't the problem, but your body couldn't take it anymore. Your relationship with yourself or with your significant others, whoever is in your family and whoever's there, okay, is dysfunctional. Even if you say, no, it's not, well, then you're used to dysfunction. People say to me, I have cancer. What should I do? Get away from your family. Whoever you've been living with, get away from them. How long? Well, 6 months to a year. Why? I love them. It's not the point. You need to love yourself. And you need to create a new personality with yourself and a new relationship with them. Remember something, people come together to heal or to get sick. So guess what? Most people are coming together to get sick, yes or no? I'm not telling you to break up. I'm telling you to go in and erase and replace belief systems, and it's very difficult. Okay, how many people are married to somebody that buys into this stuff we're talking about? One does, one doesn't. Okay? It's always the case. The other one just comes along for the ride. That's all it is.
What do you mean buys into what?
Come on.
Emotional, nutritional, physical healing. And buying into, listen, you drive yourself through anxiety, not through passion. How many people drive, their driver is passion and purpose? Or how many people drive themselves through anxiety? People...
You make it sound like it's a fucking choice. Excuse my French. You make it sound like it's a choice.
It's not. I didn't say it was a choice. I'm trying to tell you that people don't have the tools to make the choice. You missed it. You missed it. So somewhere you took it that I was saying you were dysfunctional. I'm telling you the whole thing is dysfunctional. People will love you, but they don't know how to heal you because they don't know how to heal themselves. This is no discredit. I'm trying to tell you that sometimes you have to remove yourself from a situation because the healing has to come from you. We're not punishing someone. We're trying to heal the person. Sometimes it's very difficult to stay in the environment that you got the sickness to think you can heal in that environment. The environment has to change.
Well, the original stress that I had,
Right.
my parents lived with us, and Dad fell and broke his hip and was in hospital, rehab, long-term care for 14 months. Very demanding, hated being there, wanted Mom there every day. She didn't drive, so between us we got her there, and it was a very stressful period.
Kosel, I'm going to say something and you're not going to like this.
Yeah.
So her father, okay, didn't like getting old, didn't like getting sick, didn't like being anywhere except in the house, right?
Right.
Okay. I will never do that to my family. And if my father ever did that to me, I wouldn't allow him to terrorize the family. I wouldn't do it. I'd say, Dad, stop having a temper tantrum. We're going to do the best we can, but you're going to have to calm down. Why do we think that we have to blow ourselves up because the family is blowing themselves up? Look at, you may not like what I have to say, but guess what? How many of you have been a practitioner for 40 years? How many of you have been a practitioner? And let me tell you something. By the time I was in my 4th year in, I was dealing with stage 4 inflammation. And then we became pretty good at dealing with it because it's all about what I'm talking about. And I learned it very young in my life. The reality is this, you don't have to like what I say. The reality is everybody is programmed to do ourselves in and each other. You take my course and tell me I'm wrong. It's not about me brainwashing you. It's about you actually having a different perception at the way you look at things. You perceive things by your belief systems. So, of course, it's going to be different with everyone because everybody has different belief systems. People will get angry at me. He was getting frustrated. He was thinking I was disowning somebody or saying something or, don't be so stupid. It's not about stupidity. We have been programmed for thousands and thousands of years. They've got the strategy down. We don't need to get into that part. We already know that. What I said was that you have to get yourself out of the environment. You might love your husband, your wife, but sometimes you need to take a break away from it because guess what? Don't tell me that relationships sometimes aren't insane. And most women, because I deal with a lot more women with dealing with the big C than men, okay, their relationship with their so-called significant other is the gasoline, okay? And you have to realize that. It doesn't mean break up. It means you have to view things differently. Same as I said to you. Keep doing what you're doing, but don't attach yourself and spend yourself. Don't spend yourself. You know what? Put your heart into things, but don't be worried or thinking about the outcome all the time. My God, just think if I did that. With the people that come to me, I just need to be in the present moment and own it and be present for them. But what if your husband is a terrorist or your wife is a terrorist and they can't get rid of their anxiety, but the other person has cancer? What should we do? You're going to come and take the course because most people that have anxiety will never give it up. They're addicted to it like cocaine because anxiety dumps adrenaline and everybody loves the adrenaline rush. But what about the other partner that can't handle that? That actually is tearing them down and breaking them up, breaking them in pieces. That person who gets off on their stress, it's actually destroying the other person. You're going to tell me you never seen that in a relationship? It's in every relationship. You know, even if I'm as dumb as a stump, I've been in the trenches for 40 years. You need to get that. I don't go by what I learned in a book. Remember something, any book and any government approved thing is watered down and twisted. I go by what I feel, what I see. I'm gonna tell you something right now. You think I'm kidding? You can take anybody's condition and you can take a look, and you can look even in my Perfect Day guide that you get with any consultation. We'll send it to you, and you'll actually go, holy crap, that person is like that. Oh my God, they're holding on to that. That's it. It's, you know what? We are emotional, light energy, electrical, magnetic beings. And we've got to be able to bring ourselves back into center. Because I'm going to tell you something. The person that's sick doesn't know how to protect themselves. Doesn't know how to love themselves. And they're gonna blow up. We take them out of there. We put them into a more of a peaceful, harmonious situation. You're going to tell me that they're going to not heal faster? People say to me, what's the best cancer clinic? I go, best cancer clinic, a beach, a hammock, fresh fruit, fresh vegetable juice, coconut. And then go in the salt water at least maybe a half an hour to 40 minutes twice a day. Get 20 minutes of sunshine, okay? And just love yourself well. That's the deal. And if you can add some other things to it, do it. Look, a long time ago, I realized that everything is vibration and everything is light. Why do you think when we take on a new product, like I've got a new product coming on, and it's called Beyond Enormous Minerals, and we've tested it. These trace minerals, they have more electrical charge than any other mineral on the planet. So that's what we're always looking for. The electrical charge, the higher vibration. It's opt to always protect your vibration. You know what? You win. Anybody that wants to win with you, let them win. Let them be right. Don't enter the fight. My God, however crazy it is and ridiculous it is, let them win. Or just say, I love you anyway. Look, I don't know what's going on down here, but understand something. I don't believe in sin. Anybody, all of you, congratulations for living this long. The minute you get in the womb, it's a tomb. Tell me your parents loved each other during that period. Tell me they didn't fight and squabble. Tell me that your mother wasn't eating inflammatory products. Tell me she didn't have bowel problems or hemorrhoids. Tell me that she didn't go to a doctor trying to give her antibiotics and drugs while she was pregnant with you. Tell me that the husband only stroked the tummy and said, we got this, baby. I'm your guy. Tell me that anybody gets taught how to introduce a new spirit being into their womb, and then to bring this spirit being into the world with two parents that each of them unconditionally love themselves and shine that light on each other. That they observe, and they don't have to fight about anything. How many people believe that it's only normal to fight as a couple? That's how dysfunctional we are. So you get that. You get it. We are so far off the marker, yeah, but it's not our fault. I get it, but it's our responsibility to get back to harmony. And I think that was part of the test that God set us up to, is that we were going to fall way off the grid, and that we got to find our way back to unconditional love before the game is over. I don't know. I mean, there's only thousands of different religions that all believe they've got it right. So do you mind if I make up my own where I like it and it's a game and it's an adventure and I'm winning? Thank you. God, I got people who are texting me going, you'll go to hell for this. Why? Because guess what? Because I believe that I'm not judged by that which created the universe, so I'll go to hell for it. That's how ludicrous we are. Watch out how much, and that's a frequency, and you also got to get rid of the EMF coming off of people that, okay, are having a hard time with themselves or a hard time with life. We've got to find safety. If a person doesn't feel safe, then what happens? You go into survival mode. If you're in survival mode, you're going to feel anxious and have anxiety, yes or no? Mm-hmm. How did it feel before you took the courses, Shalou? How did it feel to be in survival mode?
I was a wreck. My body was breaking down. I literally felt 20 years older than I do now. 20
years older, that's right. You need to get that. The biggest thing that you will ever do in your life is just feel safe with yourself and know that you're enough. All the worrying, all the anxiety in the world never gave us anything. Never gave us anything. You know what? And everybody's been taught that if they're not on their guard and they're not stressing out, then you're not going to be ready. We have to be ready. Be ready for what? Don't get me wrong, but guess what? You can't have attachment to it. If you want to be a protester, if you want to be a fighter, you better be doing it with all the adventure of a child in a sandbox, or you are going to have a disease.
It's no fun to fight.
You know what? I'm going to tell you something. Let everybody else win. Let them all win.
You do that, you're going to be living in a 15-minute city.
You know what? No, we're not. No, we're not.
Oh, yeah, you are.
No, I'm not.
Well,
okay, one second.
They won't let you out of the house.
One second.
You tell me how happy you're going to be then.
Okay.
You won't care.
You need to understand something. I'm coming from a different level. Please drop your arms.
Okay.
Can you drop your arms?
Oh, all right.
Okay, well, that's the guard, right? So I don't want to play.
Okay.
I'm not playing. Let me tell you something. I'm coming from a different level. I'm coming that there's an energy bigger than this.
It's not going to happen, though.
Okay, understand something.
Well, you're saying like...
I'm trying to tell you that we're not here to talk about the 15-minute city today.
You talk kind of to everybody here.
No, we're not talking about the 15-minute city today.
Okay.
That's the fear.
No,
what we're talking...
reality.
Okay. What we're talking about today is not fighting. We're talking about the unconditional love for ourselves. You think I won't stand up for my family? You don't think when it takes time...
Well, it takes protest to do that.
Okay, let me tell you something. I said, go ahead and protest. Just make sure that you're doing it with the spirit of adventure, that you're not doing it with anger and hate, because it's going to eat you up, whatever you do. I didn't say don't protest, didn't I?
No, but you put it down in a sense, yes.
Okay, I put it down because guess what? Do you know how many people that I'm seeing over this last time, this last 3 years, that have put their heart and soul into protesting, and they're upset and they're angry and they're dealing with autoimmune diseases and they may not make it through? Mm-hmm. So I say to them, I am putting it down. Well, do it different. 1 second, please, sir.
I think it's caused by the protest.
What?
I don't think that's caused. The protest isn't causing their problems.
I didn't say that. Did I say that?
Yes.
No, I said it's the way they're doing it. Did I say that?
The way it's being protested.
That's what I said.
Because I was at the protest up in Ottawa. And
okay, we're not going to do this. If you want to do this after
all I'm saying is you said that you see a lot of angry people.
I said I see a lot of angry people because of what's happening. You do too. Stop. This is not a battle. I didn't say don't protest. I say when we go into protest, let's make sure that we don't burn ourselves up in our family. I have seen enough of that. There's no battle here. You win. Protesting is important. You have to say what you want to say. But how long do you hold on to the negative attachment after the protest? How much do you go on about how much you hate what's going on? How much anger you have? How frustrated you are? You have to be able to go in and deal with it as an adventure. And I know you think, if you want to make it into a life-threatening situation, it's going to be that.
But it also could be a loving situation.
Absolutely. And
I think that's a little bit where he's at, because I wasn't at any protest.
But let me say something. I know how he deals with it. He deals with it differently than most of them do.
Right. I would agree.
That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I know. I just laughing because as soon as you said something, you cut in again.
The mislog. I think there's a mislog, because I see value in protesting, but it's done in a loving manner, and we feel good about what we're doing for humanity, and it's positive, not a negative.
Go in feeling good and leave feeling good.
Yes.
Because at the end of the day, you becoming sick will do nothing for your family or for the mission. That's it.
What do you want me to say? Yeah. You don't want me to say much, so I'm not gonna.
I didn't say that. I just don't want this.
Well,
I don't want this to be about protests.
Okay. I wasn't trying to make it about protest, but it was the way you had said it, and I kind of think that you were wrong, to be honest.
And that's good.
Just saying it, like, because we were at the Great Awakening too, which is in the form of protest, really, is what it is. I mean, we're fighting for our liberties and our values.
You know what? I mean, I was at many protests early on, and I was obsessed with everything that was going on, and it wasn't helping me any. And I took my stand because I did it in protest, but I did it lovingly.
Yeah. Well,
And you know what they told me? Yeah. They told me, oh, they're going to shut me down. I'm going to lose my restaurant, everything else. I'm still standing, because as much as they told me that, as much as they're telling us about the 15-minute cities, I was like, I see you, but this is the reality I'm holding on to. This is the community I'm creating. And even just last night, we still have our meetings. And that's exactly what Jamie said, is what we're experiencing, that it's not about fighting. If we fight, we lose. It's about standing in love and just standing, holding exactly what Daryl
Holding the
about,
vision
holding the
of
line.
the way you want to see your world. I know this is going on, but I will hold the vision the way I want to see my world, and I will protect that vision. That's all I was meaning here.
Yeah.
It's not the same in cancer, isn't it?
Yes, it is, love.
You gotta look
Yeah.
at
Holding the vision.
Yeah.
You don't
That's why I
focus on the
survived
cancer. You focus on the vision of what you truly are and what you truly deserve. But guess what? Now you've got to make sure that you change your beliefs, because everybody can have something, but you have to deserve it. Find out why you're not getting it, because you do deserve it. You deserve it all. You deserve to be healthy, wealthy, and blessed. Everybody does. That's all I'm saying. We focus on the 15-minute city, we're going to have it. I don't care how many protests we do. If we all focus on fighting the 15-minute city, we're going to get it. If we focus on the 1 second, it's the same with the cancer. If we all focus on we focus on fighting the cancer becomes fight and cancer. Which one of those are good? Loving, healing. So let's teach the person how to totally, unconditionally love and forgive themselves and focus on that. That's it. It's just two different ways. It doesn't matter. This is just my way, and he's got his way. And as long as his way makes him happy, it's his way. If somebody else has a different way of healing, they can do it. People can say, I'm going to fight the cancer, and it can actually be positive. If they fight the cancer, they can picture like white knights with white spears, and they're all white knights created by God Almighty that go in and they puncture the cancer cells, and those cancer cells just fade away. People have done that. I just want to get and keep it simple and try to get people to unconditionally love themselves, forgive themselves, get rid of all the guilt as much as possible. Create a new belief system, and create a system that when you wake up in the morning, you're making different decisions and choices. That's it. creating more harmony within your house. You know, putting on that beautiful meditative music in the background, making sure that the sun is coming and facing you and you're taking the time for it to come into you and you can feel the warmth. Somehow do that, you know, and then picturing the way your day should be. And guess what? Start eliminating people that terrorize you, people that stress you out, things that stress you out, habits that stress you out, shows that are just anxiety, adrenaline shows. Get rid of it. These are the things that we need to do to protect the people that don't need to become any more acidic. It's only logic. Do we take a person with an autoimmune disease somewhere where there's high tension? That's all I was trying to say. That's all I was trying to say.
And it does change, Daryl. Like, I mean, Narn loves watching all the fighting movies. I can't deal with them. We don't watch movies together anymore.
But he takes it in differently.
Exactly.
I get it.
He doesn't. Whereas for me, it really
we're all
affects
different.
me negatively.
I'm not downing anything.
Yeah.
I'm not downing anything. Every day you should be doing something that lets the world know that this is mine and I'm keeping it. Do it any way you want. This is the way that Daryl has done it, and he's teaching it. Don't be offended by it. Get your own course and teach people how to become BraveHearts in your way. Do you know how many ways there are to the top of the mountain? My God, we should fight about how we're going to help the world. I don't think so. I think that we should give the world a menu board and say, this is Daryl's way, this is Jim's way, this is Jennifer's way. And then guess what? Because there's different people that have different beliefs. And then allow everybody to just find their way. That's it. Don't want followers, just want leaders. People come to listen to my information, come to take my courses. We don't need many Daryls running around. We need you finding your authentic self, learning the information that you get, and then make it yours, and then create your own teaching. That's what it is. We need leaders, not followers. But guess what? Everybody's a patient until they heal themselves. And once you become a healer, then you want to become your own practitioner, and you want to show people else how to do it. I have no other intention than that. You know, when I teach, what do I say? Take all my stuff, rewrite it, take it. You can take my 40 years and pretend you did it all. Just tweak it, make it yours, and just go out and do better than me, don't I? This is not my way. This has got to be your way, but every day's got to be your day. You'll know, because you'll walk around with a slight smile no matter how anything goes on. Everybody here, most people in the world, you know what? If things are going their way, they smile, and if they're not, they don't. Don't care. I don't need things to go my way. My only protection is my smile, because that's my vibration. How many people know that as soon as you smile, you change the pH in your blood? How many people know when you smile, you're dumping dopamine, not adrenaline? It's impossible to dump adrenaline when you're smiling. Yeah, I piss people off because my beliefs don't match theirs. But I don't need to control anybody. You put it out on the table. People will snack on it, they'll feast on it, or they'll say, none of that for me. Everybody will find their way. Kathy?
I'm learning something every day. I took the course back in October, and I thought, oh, okay, I'll take it again. I just don't know when. And now I'm thinking, I should have taken it long ago. Should have been. I am just in awe of how much I am learning. At my age, I thought I was on my way. I've raised 2 boys, have beautiful grandchildren, and I'm still learning. Problem is I wanted to learn it all to resolve everybody's issues. I could be the savior. No. Learning how to love myself is probably the hardest thing.
And it's the most important thing.
Yeah. Being first and foremost. Unconditionally. And it's an eye-opener because we've been programmed all our lives to think another way. So I value all this time and hearing everybody's, not stories, but your beautiful, heartfelt origins, where you've come from and whatnot, because we're all just one big, I want to say family. We're all learning from each other, and I'm just glad to be a part of this because it's so eye-opening to me. Even today, I've learned a lot. We did the one a day this morning. Every day resonates with some little tidbit here and there. And I think you just need that positive energy always to have your mind open and just drink it all in.
1% a day. 1%. Gentle baby loving steps, moving forward. You'll have it all. What did you do today that was different and that was higher vibrational in the way of self-love and self-care for yourself? That's it. That's the rule.
And I catch myself on all the time now. What was it that was just said today? That you just have to put a smile on your face, where I thought I always had to show, you're not right. This is the way I see it. And even though you're expressing your point of view, you don't have to be right in their eyes. You just sit there, smile, and say, okay, I'm good with this.
I say take from it what you want, you know?
Out of everything, eh?
Yeah, take what you want, right? Don't walk away upset. Just take what you want. Walk away with whatever you want. And if there's nothing here for you, well, if you paid any money to Shul, I don't even know, I can't keep up, then ask for your money back. Then at least you'll leave, you know, and then you just got tormented by me for a couple hours and you got your money back. No loss, because it doesn't mean anything to me. That's it right there. I diffuse it all. You know, people will look for a reason to even be angry. They won't get it with me. They're not going to get it. They're going to have to leave with themselves and then take what they want away. All we can do is our best. You know what the hardest thing to do is? Teach something new. Take them to the edge of the cliff and let them see how far the drop is, and grab them just before they fall. That's the risk I take. Let me see you try it. You wouldn't dare. You wouldn't dare try it. I do it every day for my life because it's my passion. Because the only time that I ever see anybody buy into themselves is when I'm taking them to the cliff and they went, or they just about had enough and they were ready to blow and go, you can just shove that right, come on back. Oh my God, I just saw it. So that's the risk you take. Or we can play Inky Dinky Schnitzel House if you'd like. Don't care. I don't care. I put my heart into everything I do. At the end of it is all I can do. Yes?
How do you change your subconscious? I don't even know what my problem is, so I don't know how I change it.
Well, let me put it to this. Where do you live?
Wyerton.
That's quite a ways, eh?
3 hours.
3 hours. Well, we have a whole life coach coming, and I'm going to gift you whatever part you want to come to it. And there's your answer. There's your answer. So get a hotel, get a friend, come to it because you need it, you deserve it. You don't need it like you need it. You need it because you deserve it. And you can come to it. So you just come to as much as you want or as little as you want. But understand, guess what? And you know, people don't like when I say this, but they're never going to change. They're only going to change a little. Unless you go to brain boot camp, you're not going to change. You're only going to change a little. You have to live so bloody long. You'll get some people that had a life-threatening situation and they were scared so much that it changed them. That's not many people. And then but most people will only change to the point that they bring down the fire enough, okay, that they don't burn right up. Now, I'm only telling you something that is the truth. I'm talking about changing enough to fall in love with yourself. I'm not saying anything else. So don't start pushing at me. I'm talking about that you can make the greatest mistake in the world, observe it, and still love yourself. No matter if the whole family, the whole city, the whole world wants to piss on you, you're just going to go, I love them anyway. Because the reality is, I already told you, the majority of the population, are they going in the right direction? If you're going to say you don't know, then we're in trouble. The reality is this. They can go in the right direction, go in the wrong direction. It is none of my business. My business is, if I want to be true to myself, I want to, look at, then I want to stop. Because we're going, this means a lot to me, and I'm being pushed back, and I don't like it. Here's the deal. I don't believe in mostly what everybody believes. That what we create, God, is a high frequency, light energy that if you even had a glimpse of it, you wouldn't be able to handle it. You'd be a puddle on the floor. That is not a human being or some old man that judges us. It is high vibrational. God's not stepping in. Nobody's stepping in here. This is for you to get lost, to refine yourself, and bring yourself up and heal yourself. This is a testing ground. Whether you want to believe it or not, say whatever you want. I mean, I'm driving here every day, and what do I see? Get ready, Jesus is coming. That's exactly what my father had on the sign when I was 6 years old. Every day I was waiting for him to come. I was so excited. Yeah, my father was a born-again pastor. And when Jesus does come, hallelujah. But guess what? I'm not waiting. I'm not waiting. And the reality is this. That which we call God is not going to interfere. We have so much power inside of us. It's an understanding. And it comes from unconditional love for yourself and others. I don't feel powerful. I feel at peace, and I feel balanced, and I feel strong. I can work all day, and at the end of the day, want to go swimming and bike riding. And I'm totally clear. I can work all day with people that are so emotionally distraught and just there's no end in sight for them, and I still have peace. That is what I want to teach. There's nothing else. I have no other thing. I'm not against anything. Do whatever you want. Be whatever you want. Just keep doing it, because you're going to do it anyway. The majority of the population is so stuck. I'm not letting go. I'm going to push, or I'm going to hold on. You know, no, just flow. Just flow. You know, and allow people to be what they want. They're not trying to terrorize you. The people that are terrorizing you, they're terrorizing themselves. You're just getting in their way. It's like somebody says, hey, can I spin here? Well, if you walk close enough, you're going to get slapped. People aren't trying to hurt people. People are hurt. The best thing you can ever do for this planet is stop being hurt. And you can't do that until you go in and take a look at your belief systems and find out what belief system is undermining your God-given beauty. That's it. There's nothing else to be said. Go through the Perfect Day Manual. If you all want to do that, or if there's a few of you, send them the manual. I've got it here on my computer. You can all get it. If you want to meet next week, I'll come back here and meet. And we'll go through whatever you learned from reading my manual. That's it. That's all. Love yourself. Don't love yourself. Think I'm full of shit. Don't think I'm full of shit. Doesn't matter. Whatever you decide, you're going to anyway. But just try to be easy on yourself. Because when you're beating yourself up, you're beating everybody else up around you. You think about that. Thanks for joining us.